Chris, I can't believe the conversation I just walked in on with Greg Cody. He's here on time today, and I just heard him complaining, no lie. Your father, who I'm pretty sure from the look of him, hasn't showered this morning. It's rare to see someone in here who looks like they may not have showered this morning.
Wow, why do you say that? I'm just curious.
Well, did you? Because there's something. Do I have this wrong? I don't often feel that I ever come in here, even though people come in with sweats and whatnot. You felt like a disheveled old man this morning, and when I walked in here, an unbathed, disheveled old man.
Unbathed.
Your father was legitimately complaining about your mother once gifting him a Corvette.
Isn't that your 40th?
I'm not sure.
You were
35,
complaining
40?
about it. You were complaining about getting the gift of a Corvette for your birthday from your wife, a man who has not showered.
Okay, let me take these in order. Okay, I'm going to admit, see, I'm an honest man to a fault. Others don't admit this, but I do. I don't shower every day, okay? Sometimes, occasionally, I skip a day. I took a shower last night before going to the Panthers game, so it has been less than 20 hours since I showered. I decided
the Panthers battered you.
I decided to sleep in an extra half hour today. I'm sorry.
You've been late lately.
Lately.
The Panthers ransacked you last night, and you came in smelling like hungover from 2 defending titles. You're a journalist, but you're on the fringes of something South Florida has never seen, and you don't have time to shower.
Yeah.
And you were
that's right.
complaining about your wife getting you a Corvette.
Well, this needs explanation because I'm going to hear about this from her later. Okay, the conversation was about colors of cars that we like and don't like. And I was like, if you're driving a bright yellow car, you're like, wow, you're trying to make a statement that nobody wants to hear and nobody likes. I don't particularly like a white car. It shows dirt. I just don't like a white car. As a surprise for a birthday of mine years ago, my wife gifts me with a brand new Corvette in the driveway. And
an amazing gift.
It's an amazing gift. And I was thrilled. I kept it a few years until I traded it in because it was a lease, I believe. But I don't like a white car. So what do you do in that case? You act thrilled at first, but eventually you got to say...
You complain about it 30 years later.
I mean, eventually you got to say, so honey, not that I ever call her honey, was white like the only color they had? Or
should we ask her? I think this should be legislated on air. I do, because I can't believe you're complaining about this. She would find it offensive, right? It's a great gift.
I'm only complaining about it because the color of cars came up in a conversation, and that's what made me think of it. That kind of thing. I mean, like I say, I'm honest to a fault.
What year was this?
This would have been probably 30 years ago.
Did she like the white car?
I don't know the origin. A friend of hers, a friend of ours, helped her pick it up and actually drove it into the driveway. And I don't know how it went or whether they had a choice of other colors and settled on a white car. But never would I pick a white car of my own volition.
It's a perfect crime for her, I'll admit, I've done this. Sometimes you get for like a spouse or, whoever, a friend, family member, a gift that maybe you like. And then if they don't necessarily like it, well, it's kind of one that I like. So this works.
Right.
I'm sure maybe she was thinking, Greg's going to hate this white car. The result of this will be I will now have a white Corvette.
Oh, my wife has not been in any of my Corvettes. She hates the car. She thinks it's too low to the ground. She says it's like getting in an adult go-kart. I literally can't get her to drive in my car. Never have. But the white car, am I alone in this? I just don't like a white car. It's better than the brown car.
You didn't like the gift from your wife. I want to get Erlene on. Maybe we'll have some other things to talk about, too.
Winners on face off, now the time is here. Mix them up and you're changing on the fly. Hit checks, hat tricks are gonna make them cheer. Got the bombs turned to chirp and riding high. Now it's time for action. Tonight's gonna burn this bar right up. The slap shot will light the lamp so nice. Let's go for a break, the way of LeBron James to raise the cup. We'll be standing on our heads till we meet him at center ice. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack, baby, and we'll meet you at center ice.
Because hockey winning is such a common thing down here that yesterday I'm looking up at the television and they're asking, Mike Greenberg is asking Gary Bettman, hey, is the Panthers dynasty good for hockey? And I feel like it's a fever dream to have them get their rings, celebrate another emotional night at 5 o'clock with an early game beating Chicago as everyone gets to be drunk all over again. To have that be the way the season starts, and also this part is the biggest part that's my favorite part of it. Have the Panthers still as the betting favorite in that league because the respect is so great that they could lose their two best players for the whole season and the money still rides on, nah, those guys are better and deeper than everyone else and McDavid's not good enough to topple them. And I know it's one game and I know it's Chicago, but the fact that the money's coming in on the Panthers still is the favorite with Toronto, that the money would go around there.
Carolina's a favorite, but Carolina's been the betting favorite in the Eastern Conference a handful of times over this entire run.
Okay, good luck, Carolina, with your history with this franchise being the team that has the tough metal to be more hockey than that team.
I do think it's a little bit of an exaggeration to say they're still the favorite in general.
I'm just saying betting, in terms of betting money, depending on the sports book you check with, and the only one you should be checking with is DraftKings, the Panthers are still being bet upon as if their top two players aren't hurt. The way the money is respecting the championship is at the highest end of, no, we understand hockey, and we still think this thing might be deep enough because all those guys took discounts.
They're one of the favorites. You can obviously get them at a value right now. I don't think in recorded hockey history a team could lose its two best players and be positioned where they are right now. But still, if you look at the title odds, it is pretty nuts that a three-time finalist, back-to-back reigning champion is kind of considered a dark horse to win its third cup right now. There's a lot of value there, and the smart bettors are seeing that. It's crazy. Barkov got his ring, and he put his crutches aside. The guy had surgery 2 weeks ago. He was on the bench yesterday next to Matthew Tkachuk as the banner was going up. No crutches in sight. He's going to do this thing that he told Eric Spoelstra he's going to do.
He's going to try and come back in 5 months or 6 months.
European doctors, man.
All right, so I want to talk about that, but I was genuinely and legitimately excited by the baseball last night because this is such the rarest of swings, okay? The New York Yankees had allowed more runs in 2 games than any team in baseball history. They got this weird dynamic where Boone is in trouble every inning, but the GM of the team is golden for 25 years and doesn't matter if he ever wins again. He's a cash man, and it doesn't matter. They're all middle management on the field. They get all the contracts. Stanton's in the middle of their lineup, and they don't hit home runs in the postseason. And it goes flat in the postseason. Same way it does for Philadelphia with Harper and Schwarbs, because you need your biggest bats to do the biggest things. And Judge was hitting 500 in the series. Like, oh, not enough. It can't be singles and doubles, Judge. You got to hit a big one. So they go down 6-2. They go down 6-1. No, 6-2. And then all of a sudden, they feel like their season's over. Jazz Chisholm is yawning, giant yawns on the field. That was going to be the tabloid photo, was going to be Jazz Chisholm, giant yawn, Yankees don't care. The Blue Jays club their heads in. Never in the history of the sport have the first 2 games like that. The Blue Jays scored 20 unanswered.
He's bored, he looks.
The Blue Jays scored 20 unanswered. You got Aaron Judge, he's hitting 500. Again, manager's always in trouble. GM's never in trouble. They didn't have an arm at the start of that game. Vladimir Guerrero hates the Yankees like his daddy did because it's on principle.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now is the second player in MLB history with a homer and multiple RBIs in each of his first 3 games of a postseason. The other was Hank Aaron in 1969. He's been ridiculous.
Oh, but so Aaron Judge, though, it is so funny and great, the position that Aaron Judge is in. because he's hitting 500 in the series. He's 2 for 2 in the game, and they're like, oh, where are the homers, Judge? It doesn't work unless you hit the 3-run homers.
I didn't like that. I saw people saying that was his moment. He finally had his moment. I don't know about that.
You got to win the series.
Well, I mean, first of all, it was to tie the game, first of all. It was a foot away from being foul. He almost, hooked that one, which we're not going to hold that against him. Obviously, it was still a 3-run homer to get them back in a game where they were trailing a lot. But again, you just tied it, and then Jazz gave them the lead. That picture that we're showing right now on video is cool. All I can do is look at Marlins man.
Yes.
And the fact that he has that giant orange jersey on and he has his visor on sideways.
So bad.
Which is just like...
Is that a rally cap, maybe?
I mean, I can't believe that we're honestly still here when this started, in like 2000 and... What year was it even? Like 2000.
He's let himself go. The last embers of fame that he has as the most famous fan South Florida has ever had.
So at one point he was together for you.
When he was grabbing at fame and getting these tickets, using his riches the way every sports playboy would to get himself mascot fame, just be famous on television. The fact that, pan back on that photo for a second, it makes me mad and delighted that that's what Billy noticed. Look at the picture. No, you guys look at the picture. He knows what he's done.
No, but it's a sideways hat for me because you can even see, if you zoom in, he has the entradas because it's a visor that he's wearing, so you can see his hairline on the thing. It's weird, and I honestly can't believe that we're still here when this started with the Giants, first World Series or second World Series, almost 20 years ago at this point, or 15 years ago, whatever it was. But I mean, your defining moment in your career cannot be in the ALDS to tie a game that merely keeps you alive.
Not if you're going to be Jeter.
That's what I'm saying. There's already a Mr. October. What is? We're not vying for Mr. First Week of October here. We need to have larger moments. A cool moment nonetheless, but we need larger moments in Yankee lore if that's what we're looking for.
You're
here.
crushing him if he strikes out last night in that at bat.
Oh, dude, if he pulls that, I'm telling you, if he pulls that 1 foot over and it's a foul ball, and the next one is simply a line drive up the middle, no one's gonna be like, oh, Aaron Judge did it again.
You realize we're criticizing the AL most valuable player who's batting 500 in the postseason.
Yes.
That's what we're doing right now.
Yes, because he did it in the wrong series.
Okay.
ALDS.
Right, just getting that.
And he merely tied the game. Where's the praise for Jazz?
Put it on the poll. Does Aaron Judge need to hit home runs in the next series during this series?
Well, if he gets to that series.
No. I say right now, the pressure on Judge needs to be this. Does Aaron Judge need to hit home runs in the next series during this series?
You know what Reggie and you know what the captain would have been doing? And that's a whole nother thing. Calling Aaron Judge the captain is such disrespect to Mr. Jeter, who I've had my disagreements with over the years, and we're not necessarily aligned in thought on certain things, but Derek Jeter's the captain, okay? I can see past my hatred towards him and what he did to my franchise. Derek Jeter's the captain, so we're not going to refer to Aaron Judge as the captain. That's absurd. But you know what, Mr. October, you know what the captain, Mr. November, would have done yesterday? You know what they would have done yesterday?
I don't.
What?
They would have ended the series because they wouldn't have gone down 2 games to the Blue Jays. Yesterday would have been a series clinching game for them. That's what would have happened.
Okay, so
the Blue Jays are running amok on the Yankees because Aaron Judge hasn't done enough.
Okay, Billy, I want to get this straight. So nobody but Jeter can be the captain. So is Aaron Judge's...
And Adnan.
Is Aaron Judge's title the lieutenant? What are we calling all future Yankee captains?
It's a great question. I mean, I've been doing some thinking on this front because I noticed also, and I've done a little bit of research on the University of Colorado's football program, because I remember last year there were some guys running around with some D's on their uniforms because they were dogs. And I don't know that leaders and dogs have carried over to this present Colorado team. I was looking it up. I was saying, who's the D on this Colorado team now? Who's the L on this Colorado team now? And I was struggling to find it. I'm not saying that they're not there, but when I looked, I couldn't find the L's and the D's on this year's Colorado football team. So I think what you're going to have to do, kind of like Colorado did, is maybe you retire the C. I think what you do next to Jeter in Monument Park out there where they retired all the numbers, you retire the letter C also for captain. And then maybe you name someone else. Can't be commander because that's also a C, and we retired the C. We're going to have to find some other words. Admiral isn't bad, Greg.
Aaron Judge now has 6 home runs when facing elimination, tying David Ortiz for the most in postseason history.
Yeah, correct. But again, Mr. October, Mr. November never faced elimination. So I would say the fact that he's even in that position is really a sign of his lack of leadership ability.
So David Ortiz,
allowing
do you feel the
his
same
team-
way about David Ortiz, who is the guy he tied?
David
because
Ortiz is-
famously he was down 3-0 to those Yankees in the ALCS and then came back for one of the most
Well, he
iconic
didn't.
moments
No,
ever.
no, he didn't come back. Dave Roberts, who again
Oh,
I
okay.
also don't like, is the reason that they came back in that series with that stolen base. Dave Roberts, me and him also have issues, but that's fine. We're looking past that.
Do you
This
care
is-
that the Blue Jays were 39-0 this year when they led by 5 or more runs until last night? Do you care at all?
I don't.
In baseball history, that game never happens. The Yankees were finished, and Aaron Judge tied the game with a 3-run
They're the
homer.
first team ever, literally per OptiStats, first team in MLB postseason history to be down by 5+ runs, in danger of being swept,
the
and
thing,
come back
but
to
here-
win the game.
here's the
Jeter's never
problem.
been down by 5 runs.
See, he's so right.
Thank you.
This is the evolution of the Jeter argument, Billy. You are doing this magically right now because it is correct. Unless Aaron Judge hits 3 home runs in a World Series game in Game 4 against the Blue Jays, in the elimination game against the Blue Jays today, he's got to hit 3 home runs in the World Series to beat Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, who's not the captain. The captain forevermore is Derek Jeter. Aaron Judge can hit 900 in this series with all triples. And if he does not hit 3 home runs in the World Series during this series to make them advance, Aaron Judge will have failed, and the MVP will go to Seattle, which advances past the Yankees, chokers in October.
That's correct. And 2 of those 3 home runs have to be grand slams. And he should invent the 5-run homer, Aaron Judge, because if he doesn't do something like that to really stand out, really what's his legacy?
There is a legitimate and pretty easy argument to be made that was the most impressive piece of hitting.
Oh, come on.
In baseball history.
Oh, shut
Oh, that
up.
pitch
This
was
season.
listen, guys.
Just
That
hear
pitch
me
was
out.
that pitch was
Oh,
so
shush it.
inside.
All right.
Nobody hits that pitch that way.
Can I give you the statistics here?
Yeah, but you're
this
wasting your
season,
breath.
there have been 528 pitches on 0-2 counts out of the zone at 99 miles an hour or above. That's the first home run. And not only that, this pitch was 99.7 miles an hour. It was 1.2 feet inside. It's the first time in pitch tracking history since 2008, regular season, postseason, that a hitter is homered off a pitch that fast, that inside. Ever.
I mean,
In the history of baseball, in that spot,
no, not
to
ever.
tie the game.
Not ever. Ever since 2008. We're missing about 108 years
Yeah, really.
plus of history before that you weren't just tracking. That's not
Because a ton of
ever.
guys were throwing 99 miles an hour.
Listen to me, Jeremy. I'm going to give you a quick quiz here. Remember last year when you said Pete Alonso hit the biggest home run in the history of baseball?
In the history of the Mets.
And it was a week after you said someone else hit the biggest home run in the history of the Mets. Who was that someone else? And what was that scenario?
It's a really great question. All I know is that this, in terms of being a piece of hitting, that pitch in that spot to hit that home run, the call from Joe Davis, if it's fair, it's his moment.
That was cool.
It was unbelievable
He didn't answer your
cinema.
question. He didn't answer your
didn't
I
question.
have no idea who hit the homer you're talking about, and I
evasive.
don't even know
It
that
was
it's
Mike
true.
Piazza.
Evasive, by the way. Evasive. No, it was the week before. Last week we went on a run where within a span of like 5 days, we're like, this was the biggest home run in the history of the Mets.
Oh, it
We're
was
like,
Francisco
what
Lindor, I
are
think.
we talking
It's
about right
Piazza.
now? And we don't even remember what it
FDNY.
was. And I will also say this about his moment. If they lose this series the next game, this moment will be irrelevant. It'll be like, wow, remember that big moment? Oh, yeah, that was the year that they went on to win the World Series. Like, no, it's not. They actually lost the series in 4 games, a best of 5.
But
Yeah.
now they're getting to a bullpen game against Toronto today, and they've got Schlittler on the mound. I mean,
Jeter
they're in a
never
really good
allowed
spot.
bullpen games, and if there was bullpen games, it was Mariano coming in pitching 9.
That's the thing.
Not the Yankees.
And to enter Sandman, and no one will ever do it like that. Judge needs to be the closer in all of these games as well in the World Series.
Don't look into Mariano post Yankees, but in Yankee time when he came out, oh,
Look, this is the best. The Yankees mattering, looking like they're getting slaughtered, unreasonable standards, and Aaron Judge, you play in a bandbox. You're a superhero. You're an action hero. You're hitting 500 in the series, yes, but you have to hit them out of the stadium, fool.
what is his body built like that for? It's not singles. Like, if he's that size, you got to be hitting home runs, and you got to be keeping it in between the fair and foul balls. Cool moment, but, like...
He has a 1,300
Come on.
OPS this postseason.
Great God.
How many games has he started? How many innings has he pitched? Because there's another baseball
That's
player
the
who's
thing.
been a lot more impressive
That's
than
the
he's been
thing.
so far.
Okay, so there are two of them, right? One of them plays for Seattle, right?
Yeah.
It's going to win the MVP.
Well, then the other's like a former fat guy that now seems a little bit more svelte that's in Philadelphia, who's also having an incredible season. I mean, Aaron Judge, honestly, at this point, is kind of like a footnote in the history books, if
Yeah.
anything, I would say.
Overrated.
Yeah, somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say flat out disappointment, but like when he came on the scene in that home run derby in, what year was it, 2017, we were like, wow, this man is about to take over baseball. He's going to change the way that this game is played. Look at him. He's hitting the roof, the inside of the roof of Marlins Park, these mammoth home runs. And like, what have we done since then?
Yeah,
Hit 6
seriously.
home runs in elimination games.
Aaron-
Tied David Ortiz for the most ever.
Aaron Judge and Connor McDavid should do a duet.
I
They should do
honestly,
a song
they
together.
really should. I mean, if anything, I'd reach out to Connor and be like, "What do we do in this situation?" Which would be bad advice because Connor's never overcome this situation. But I'd reach out to him and be like, "What do we do, guys that are out here somewhat overrated, somewhat disappointments, gods in the regular season, but come playoff time, what can we do? We'll have a moment per series, but then after that, largely forgotten. We're bending over backwards, forcing ourselves into pretzels to celebrate this man, saying, look at him. He set the American League record for intentional walks in a season with 36, 90 behind Barry Bonds' major league record. Look at him. He set the AL record for home runs, a feat that 7 National League players or so have already done. Like, get out of here with Aaron
So
Judge.
Billy's not wrong in that this is the team
Thank you.
of Gehrig and DiMaggio and champions and captains before him. And the expectations on Aaron Judge is he's got to leap over skyscrapers. However, I just want to stop everyone
In a
for
game, he
second.
wins.
That's correct.
Do it in a game you lose. I don't care how
I
high
know.
you jump.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's not even that. Not even do it in a game that you lose because they won the game. Do it in a series you win because if they lose the
And
next,
not the ALDS.
if they lose one, no, it's the great standards of the Jeter. That's what it was. Either win the championship or fall on your face, and we won't say you're Mr. October. He will never. What a curse for Aaron Judge that it doesn't matter what he does. He'll never be Jeter. He'll never be Mariano because your grandparents don't care that the pitch was 1.5 feet inside by metrics, and they don't care that it's 99 miles an hour, and they don't care that he just hit a pitch that no baseball player ever, not even your beloved Ruth of the Yankees, would have hit for a home run. You don't care about enter velocity. You don't care about exit velocity. There is literally nothing Aaron Judge can do short of winning all the next 2 games today.
Yeah,
He's got to win both of them today to shut this up.
Right. TMI has only been around for however many years.
Exactly.
Very dangerous to say greatest play ever when it happened last night because baseball, keep in mind, goes back to the late 19th century.
TMI.
He's
What
right.
is TMI?
TMI.
Too much information.
That's right.
In the late 1800s, baseball umpires, home plate umpires, sat in rocking chairs 20 feet behind home plate. So the game has changed. But who's to say Babe Ruth wasn't pitching and hitting 100 miles an hour back
Everyone.
Who's to say?
then? We don't know that.
I would also say this.
don't know.
Who's to say? We don't know. We don't have the same modern technology. Greg's absolutely right. And in terms of distances, the umpire in the rocking chair used to say, that felt like 502.
Yes.
Like, that's how we used to measure.
Right,
and
exactly.
we keep saying 99 as though 99 is this impressive thing.
It was 100.
99, okay, 100. 100 is the new 92, if we're going to be honest with you.
True.
99
Yes, no,
is the
it's
new 92.
Yeah.
No,
He's
it's
right
not.
about that.
99 is the new 92. Back in the day when you dialed it up and you used to hit 97 on that radar gun, you're like, holy crap, how is this a human being? Now we have guys throwing 105, so, like, miss me with 99 miles per hour, like, if I give a crap about that.
Right.
99 is 91, 92. It's basically Maddox
Yeah.
out there, 99. Get out of here.
100 miles an hour now is like running a 10.0 in
Exactly.
the 100-meter dash. If you're not throwing, the first guy to throw 110 will earn my attention.
Thank you.
So you're saying, I just want to be clear on what you're saying. Is today's 99 91 in 91? In 1991, what was someone throwing 91? That's today's 99?
No, today's 99 is 92 and 97. 91 and 91 is probably closer to 94 today.
Yeah,
I
nailed
would
it.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Jamie Moyer, 99 today.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Oh, it must be so frustrating
Phil Necro would be throwing 100 today.
to pitch clock. Again, we're going to talk about the Necros.
Yes.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
So
A planned aneurysm.
I
like that.
can I just stop because
Aneurysm.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too in the weeds on baseball because there are other things to talk about, but I am going to go in the weeds on just one thing because I want to talk about what's happening in Philadelphia right now because they're playing the Dodgers. Dodgers are kind of great. It's crazy. Glass now coming out of the bullpen. You know, Blake Snell is a totally unhittable person. Like that's not the Dodgers are unbelievably stacked. And the Phillies had them on the ropes in the bottom of the ninth in Philadelphia. And we had some of the sweetest sounds in that sport a few years ago when Philadelphia thought its baseball team was better than the Dodgers. A baseball town thought that they fell in love with Harper and Schwartz is the best. And Trey Turner's an unbelievable player. And the Dodgers are really good. And they had him on the ropes, and if not for Freddie Freeman scooping out a ball, that's a 1-1 series, and the conversation's totally different in Philadelphia. But I wanted to talk about one play in that game that we skipped over yesterday because we don't talk about baseball this way, and I just love this about baseball. Because Philadelphia's season went to die. Castellanos is on second base. The slide is amazing. You have to be safe by this much. And his base running error and how he treated the bunt on a wheel play when no one's bunting anymore because everyone's striking out and they can't even trust anyone to get a fly ball. It's all home runs, and their lineup has Schwarber and Harper, and they cannot hit. As Luzardo and Snell are going back and forth, they can't do what Judge is doing. Multiple postseasons now. Great players. Great core. But Trey Turner's giving you a single. There's not enough. So in that inning, Castellanos gets to second base by his teeth. And they do a wheel play, the Dodgers. They show it on the first pitch. So now you know Philadelphia, it's wheel play. It's going to be Mookie Betts is going to try to beat Castellanos to third, and second baseman's going to go cover first. There's going to be no one near Castellanos in second base. He's got to get a big jump because there's no one near him. The second baseman's running to first base. Both guys are coming in for the bunt. They're showing bunt. The whole infield's open to you. You need a run. These margins are this big. Everyone's fighting with $200 million contracts. They do wheel play. Castellanos isn't fast enough. He gets a bad jump. He gets thrown out at third base. That's the difference between Ohtani's the greatest and the Dodgers are the best and they have all the money and it's 1-1. And Philadelphia's not in an elimination game. But now it all falls on Philadelphia and for seasons because Harper, Schwartz, great seasons, guys. But you can't get past the Dodgers. And it's because of a base running play. And it's because the Dodgers executed expertly. Mookie Betts, who's like their third best player, ridiculously, he's beating Castellanos as the second baseman to third base for the tag by many feet. And they execute with discipline the ending of Philadelphia's season because now you got to beat the Dodgers too many times, and they're too good. They're not going to lose 3 games in a row because Freddie Freeman's their third best player if it's not Mookie Betts.
There was such a brilliance behind that play defensively, as Mookie, by the way, is now playing shortstop. Like, he's played so many different positions over the course of his career, playing shortstop because it helps their team.
Cheater's position.
And the brilliance of that play on defense for everyone to execute, for Freeman to know as the bunt is laid down, I've got to sprint to second base now that it's laid down the third base line to make sure that the runner from first doesn't get over. For Muncy to take a peek as the pitch is going in and realize, okay, Mookie's got the jump on Castellanos. So if I pick up this ball, I can throw to third and know that he's out.
It was like watching a military drill from the future is baseball with these just unbelievable professionals. You got to pay $300 million a year. And Mookie Betts knows how to beat Castellanos by a foot to third the way that Miguel Rojas knew how to beat Trey Turner, one of the fastest players in the league, on a tag at third where the runs are that hard to come by. I love this time of year. It frustrates me that I can only talk to Jeremy about it.
What are you talking about? Greg was engaged. I was
really
engaged.
was,
Mike
yeah.
was engaged.
I love
Chris was
love a wheel
Everyone's
play.
in.
Yeah,
Love
the
a wheel play.
Wheel play.
is really good. It's Castellanos, though. He pronounces
Thank
it
you,
with the
Greg.
hard L's. Come on. Get in the game. Talk about knowing baseball.
Mike corrected me on this yesterday. It's not Nick Castellanos.
Yeah,
the
that's
L
what he
always
said.
has to be rolled. We get that. Come on, give that to Hispanics.
Wait a minute.
He wants to be,
Castellanos does Llanos, doesn't he?
Nick wants to be called Castellanos.
Yeah.
Tommy, though. wants to be called Tommy Castellanos, and you have to respect
You gotta
people's
respect
wishes.
I don't have
Portillo's.
to. I
You
don't
do.
have to respect it. No, I would say that that's where you meet my boundaries. You have to allow Latin people. You got everything else. You call it Los Angeles. Let us roll the L's. They're ours.
What if the guy who owns
they're
the
L's.
L's isn't rolling them?
That's what you keep saying to me. You keep telling me that Nick gets to decide. You keep telling me that anyone other than you just always rolls your L's gets to decide.
What if I started calling you Dan Le Batard?
Or Daniel.
Le Batard.
I mean, you call it Los Angeles, Dan. I don't hear you going Los Angeles.
I really condescended from up there on that.
He really did.
I did. I felt bad about that.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
I love baseball this time of year, but it really is hockey time, right? Like I've aired.
Is it?
Is
Oh,
it not?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
it is. Did you?
Absolutely not.
Did you see what happened last night? A team surprised us with uniforms. The LA Kings came out in warm-ups in their traditional home uniforms. Then, when it's time to drop the puck, unveiled secret third uniforms with chrome helmets. It was crazy. 4-1 the final there. How about the Pittsburgh Penguins blanking the New York Rangers? It's their 100th season. Beautiful sweaters, blanked at home. And the defending champs, Mackey, 2 assists. Jesper. These are the wingers you need to step up.
Yes.
Man, Florida looks to be in that playoff conversation.
And A.J. Greer with the first goal. I mean, the Panthers got exactly the kind of win that is the recipe for this season. They just need guys on the second and third lines to step up, as they did last year. And that's the reason why they can abide the terrible loss of Barkov and the loss for at least 2 months of Kachuk.
Spencer Knight was exceptional for
He really
Chicago
was, yeah.
last night. That was the one time we're allowing the night thing to happen.
That's
before
it.
the
You
game.
get one night,
No more.
literally
No
and
more.
figuratively.
No more nights.
You can hear the murmuring in the crowd. It is such an annoying thing.
is. It-
Everyone, night, and then you hear people being like, "Wow, what are we doing?"
Murmuring's
I know.
not good during an anthem.
No.
Why
it
does
really
that still happen? Because like you'd have to be like a big Panthers fan to do that, but you know if you were a
Thank
big
you.
Panthers fan to not do that.
Thank you. That's I was literally last night. Who are these people?
Crisis actors.
Who's the person that's like, you know what? I'm still gonna yell night, even
it-
when he's gone.
And it's almost worse that they're yelling night louder than ever when that's the opposing
Well,
goalie.
last night, I'll give it to you. Last night, I'll give it to you because he was in net. It was his first game back. He tried to, by the way, in the first period, the Panthers do their video. Anytime a player comes back first time, Spencer Knight was doing the thing where I'm focused on this game. He barely gave a wave. He was trying to do the thing of, I will not be distracted during this first period.
This is nothing against Spencer Knight personally, and I know he's gone through off-field or off-ice stuff personally that good for him.
Yeah, rip him.
But
Oh no.
Get him.
he doesn't deserve a tribute.
Thank you.
Well, he was the backup goalie for a season and a half. Come
I was
on.
wondering
He's
about
a
that.
champion.
What were we doing?
Yeah,
Airing
yeah.
highlights from 4 years ago when he was the answer? They were
was
trying
a
to
champion.
kick Bob out of town. Like, get
Yeah,
out of here. with
It's
that
a hockey
crap.
thing. If someone's
Oh.
last name was Glare, they'd scream it.
Yeah, but they also did that at the Stanley Cup final like 3 years ago when they were playing the Knights,
Yes.
which was like, what are we doing
And
here?
that's their
Right.
thing.
It's bad.
Bad.
Lose it.
Lose it.
You
Loser.
guys have ruled on this, and I have to side with you guys. If you are a real fan and you're not a Juan come lately to hockey down here, you should respect that people have come and gone, and you are an educated fan, and you should respect your champion team by chanting the correct things at the correct players as you get a rat stenciled on your ring. And the ring reminds everyone we apologize for nothing. You guys were swaggering last night. You guys felt last night emotionally, did you not?
Yeah, I mean it's shocking. Another banner going up there. I will say for them maybe missing the mark, and again, we've allowed them to do the Knight thing one last time, and Knight was good last night between the pipes. That was all good. But the fans did get something right. They had a moment of woo. The moment of woo for the fake Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Passed away.
And in that section that he used to sit in, there were signs.
That was nice.
Pictures. That was a real class act. The franchise put out a tribute video upon learning about his passing. Class act. This franchise.
He got a bigger pop than Knight.
I was just going to ask, who deserved a better tribute, him or Knight, according to you, Greg?
The woo-woo man.
Yeah, Woo Man.
the
yeah.
woo man.
Yeah.
How
His
did he
name?
how did he pass away? Do we know? I'm just curious.
I don't.
Tragically, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pablo's on it.
Yep.
What'd you guys do with your championship coins that they handed out?
Oh, I got mine.
Yeah?
Right in my bag.
Why
there.
do you?
Well, why? You're a journalist. How'd you get one?
They hand them out. I take them. You know,
What?
they hand me. I'll show it
Wow.
to you.
You're literally taking coins from the
that's not
Panthers
exactly-
now. Hold on a second. Yeah, and you brought it in to show
That's
us?
like a currency bribe. That's
He's
right
not
up there
allowed.
with banging the drum.
It's an
Baby.
ethical
There it
violation.
is.
He is not allowed to accept anything worth more than $25.
Well, that's not.
Disqualified.
Is that a pog?
You didn't go? You didn't get one, Chris?
Slammer.
You didn't get a
I got one.
championship
I got
coin?
one. Yeah, I got one. It's at my house.
Nice.
I have to say that honestly, I want to ask you guys the question as a matter of hygiene before we get into the journalism of Greg literally taking coins and proudly showing them while dismissing Zaslow as not a journalist.
You banged a drum.
Zaslow,
That's true.
Okay,
And wore a jersey with your name on. I mean, that's more
Fair
than
enough.
$25.
Oh, LeBatard. Caught.
fair enough. Yes, I am also compromised on this front, clearly.
Why would you sell yourself out for the Panthers?
Because it's the joyous bandwagon, and we'll never have anything like this again in Miami unless it's the football team in college, which it might be.
I don't know. Bendix has got his finger on the pulse.
Maybe,
guy's good.
yes, the Marlins also
Yeah, right.
have gotten smarter. But yes, this is me selling my soul to get aboard the bandwagon and a very easy time to get on the bandwagon. Yeah, journalism totally died. Yes. But Greg taking a literal coin, bringing it in proudly, and also being a human being, that I want to check America's temperature on the hygiene of this. I would say that if you go to a hockey game, you have to shower before coming in to work the next day as a matter of principle, just because of the things that happen at a hockey game. You cannot go to bed that unclean and then come into work the next morning
I wasn't playing.
not having showered after going to the arena, an arena filled with all sorts of bile, coming off of a game in the preseason where they fought the Lightning at the top of the sport with 7,000 minutes in penalties because the Panthers want the championship again and they need their dirty journalists.
I saw no bile, by the way. I was in the arena. Yeah.
Did you go in the dressing room,
catacombs.
Greg?
I did.
Oh, you did.
I
That's
gotta
where
shower
that was
after
my
that.
concern.
That's where you gotta
if you're
shower
just in
after
the
that.
arena and there's all the air conditioning, in fact, it's colder than usual. Maybe you don't break a sweat even
Locker
from
room's
that.
a little small
but
still.
that
It's very
that
small, yeah.
locker room is one of the grossest smells that exists.
How would you
in
describe
society.
it? How would you describe the smell in there?
Locker roomish. I
So
mean,
that
it smells.
That's forgive me because I don't actually know if in the last 20 years they've done much in the way of upgrades here. But that locker room, if it's got 20 years of hockey stink in it, you must fumigate upon leaving that room. You can't. You must shower after that. That room is disgusting. That room smells like sweat takes form and becomes smoke.
I don't know how to respond to that. I didn't see any smoke.
You came home filthy from hockey
I'm
to
not.
watch.
I wasn't playing in the game.
No, but you go into that locker room and it's like there's a mist around these men. That smell is 20 years of hockey funk. It's an awful room. No matter their riches, no matter their royalty, they cannot fumigate it. It's got 20 years of sweat in it.
It's a sports smell.
All right, we
It's
gotta smell 'em.
beautiful.
I'll smell 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone smell
I'll smell
Greg.
'em.
Give
Get
him
in
a
there,
whiff.
Mike.
I don't care.
I mean, it smells like 2 Stanley Cup final championships to
Smell
me.
me. Smell me. I
Hell
don't
yeah.
care.
No, we don't need to smell them.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
yeah,
as
you
a
do.
matter of principle. I'm just asking the audience, don't you have to shower there?
I showered. I went to the game last night and I showered.
You
this
didn't go to
morning.
the locker room,
I
did
did
you?
not.
I showered before the game.
After that locker room, Greg,
the
I
game,
wanted
yeah.
to defend you, but good lord, that locker
Mike,
room smells.
mean-
What are you thinking?
He puts on Old Spice, I'm guessing, in the morning, so he
not
might be
Old
be
Spice.
hiding it.
There is a masking agent.
No, no,
There is
for
a
sure he'll
masking
put on
agent, yes.
deodorant after not
Yes.
taking a shower, just to,
Right.
to
I'm wearing
treat it.
masking tape on my armpits.
Yeah, him having a deodorant and scent is not him coming in clean.
I'm the cleanest man in
No,
this
no.
this
I believe
building.
it.
No.
He looks it.
Thank you, Billy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, nobody
Chris,
cleans
were you
like
made
me.
emotional last night? I do not want to get spoiled by the idea. Okay, there's plenty to talk about today. I really could get into the nuances of baseball in a way that would bore the entirety of the audience for 4 hours. Your dad has come in with what is obviously hockey funk. And I've identified it, and I ask the rest of you, do you often look at your teammates when they come into work and say, that person has not showered today? Do you ever feel like that's ever happening here?
It's probably happening with people looking at me, if anything, I would say.
I just can't believe we're already here. Maybe the season, this offseason seemed extra short
It
because we
feels
played
too soon.
at 5 p.m. Billy, this is the plight of a champion. Like, imagine. The offseason used to feel so long when we were 5 points out of the final playoff spot, but now, too short.
I kind of get what it was when Pat Riley said that he believed that, LeBron intentionally threw that last finals there. That LeBron just kind of wanted some time off. Like, that's what I think
That's
it
a whole
was.
week?
Because you get it's like a week and a half sometimes. If it goes 7, you get extra break. Like, I get the accusation now.
What do you have Pat Riley saying?
That LeBron threw it at the end. That he tried to lose that finals
I don't
on his
think
way
Pat
out.
Riley did. Pat
As
Riley
I
ever
remember
say
it,
that?
it was something like that.
News-
He told
Newsworthy.
you that, didn't
Mickey
he?
didn't deny it in one of our 3 questions.
Surprised that didn't become a news story.
Wasn't that a thing? Wasn't that an
minute.
accusation that was out there by
Yeah.
many people? And then it was like, oh, he was also just playing video games when we met. Like, I think that was a thing.
Do you think that's why Aaron Judge lets the Yankees lose?
The media blew that
It's
story,
not Aaron
huh?
Judge's fault that the Yankees are losing.
Quote, I don't know how he hit the pitch. There's one person on the planet that can do it, and it's Aaron Judge. That's your boy Derek Jeter.
I mean,
Anything on that?
He's somewhat of a cheerleader for the
Yankee on
Yankees.
Yankee
That's
praise.
exactly right. He needs to kind of go out there. He knows that his role now is captain. Once you're Yankee captain forever.
Yeah.
So he knows his role is to prop up the Yankees in this situation, whether he believes it or
Yeah,
not.
but now him and Ortiz are doing comedy because it's time for Schlittler to save the season.
Every single one of you pronounce his last name. You kept first.
Schlittler. Oh, well, he's the master. Schlittler.
Schlittler.
Now your turn.
Sound like Hitler.
Ha! Comedy.
Go to a break.
That's the funniest thing Fox has ever done. That's the funniest thing Fox has ever done.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Tony's top 5 is around the corner. Last time he went out there, he injured himself, and he said he was bringing litigation. I don't understand. I didn't tell him to do any of that. I thought it was a bit try hard, but I appreciated that he was doing it for us. But I didn't ask him to do any of it, and now he's suing the company and suing me because he's injured. And now he's out back on the road again. Where is he today? Where's litigation right now?
I know he's out in the field. I think it's a surprise, so we'll find out together.
Can we make that a class action or
Well, what would you be getting in on?
psychological and emotional damage?
From what? What Billy did to you that first segment?
From what's happened for about the last 3.5 years.
Okay. Your love of baseball is nice, and I hope that someday before the end of these playoffs we stop segregating it. Because I really... The Vlad Guerrero story is so cool. To have him topple this team while Aaron Judge, like he's at the top of whatever the sports mountain is, slugging it out for their cities with like Ohtani over here who's got Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman behind him. It's like, it's an unbelievable time in baseball if you've cared about the history of that sport. When the Blue Jays aren't even playing with Dante Bichette's kid. He's not even in this series because the Blue Jays are loaded too, and Guerrero really hates the Yankees. Like, he really wants to beat them.
Whatever happened to Biggio's kid?
Kind of flamed out.
That stinks.
Mike, are the kids or the sons getting you interested in baseball?
I'm taking a look at the the Mariners. I don't care.
Yeah, Big Dumper. Bro, what about Big Dumper? He hit it to a guy who said, dump it here.
TV,
Dumping it.
But
Hockey started yesterday.
Jeremy, aren't a lot of fans wearing a Dumper shirt? Like, I feel like
No,
the
this
odds
guy-
of a fan who's wearing a Dumper shirt catching
Did you
it-
see the shirt?
Yeah, I did.
He created it himself with his own cricket at home, and it said dump it here, and it had 61 on the front for the 61st home run. And then after that, he took it off, and underneath that, dump 62.
Now that's cool.
He had both.
All right.
It
You
was
know
sitting
what?
there in left field to have to hit it opposite field and go. I mean, guys, baseball. Please
I'll be locked
join
into the
me.
championship series, I think. I don't know. Maybe, don't count on me. But maybe the world, I don't know.
That fan must have been mocked by all his friends. Like, dude, you think you're going to get a home run ball, and then you think you're going to get another one, and then look at him. Look at this guy.
Has there been a worse nickname than Dump? Like
The Big Dumper?
Yeah, like a nickname that's
a bad
less
take.
appealing.
That's a bad
a
take.
great
No,
nickname.
it's a fun nickname to say, but if I'm the guy they're calling the Big Dumper, I don't know if I like that.
Because he's got a great ass. You know that's why we're
got a
doing it,
great-
right?
Yes, he's a
Yeah,
catcher. He's
I've
got-
seen better.
Is there a catcher with a bad ass?
Pull up
Got
a
an
photo of that.
overrated ass.
I mean,
Pull
look
up
at
a photo.
Yeah, Greg's right. Overrated ass, and his dad's ass is horrific.
Let me see that thing. Let me see that photo of that ass.
Really? That's what we're doing?
No, I want to
Let's
see
pause until we see it.
It's
Yeah,
an
hold
average ass.
You know what? There was a catcher with a bad ass.
Who?
Paul Bacco.
I believe it.
it. Javi Lopez didn't have a great ass.
In the right angle.
I
I would
thought-
also say, like, this whole, like, take off your shirt 61, 62, like, that moment's done. This is a postseason.
Yeah.
The stats reset. That's not a home run number 62. Like,
Right.
enough of, like, this made-up history where we're rewarding Aaron Judge for doing, like, as the kids say, mid things, okay? No, Baco is a friggin' that's
Irons.
a plancha, yeah.
that's an ironing board
Get
right
outta
there.
here. Baco.
Yeah, you need an ass like Big Dumpers.
How's it even possible to not have a good butt as a catcher?
I want my catcher to be a pog.
Pudge had a good one, right, Dan?
Yes, for sure.
There you go.
The catcher, I mean, the hips are wide open, and they have a lot. The lower body strength of these human beings, as this guy says, because the Big Dumper is saying, be prepared with shirts 62 and 63 for Game 4. Like, you've got a legitimate swaggerer over in Seattle who's coming to also try and topple the Yankees. And we can't do anything to get Mike interested in this. As like a catcher for all times, who's hitting more home runs than have ever been hit, non-steroid division.
No. I mean, I'll certainly make time for the M's if they advance. I have it on the second screen. I don't know how to pronounce anybody's names. I did find it weird that you thought Julio Rodriguez was 32, but I'm like, I barely follow this.
24 years old.
No, I just
That was
it's-
weird.
it
Dan
was-
definitely said 32. No one else.
He said it
only
with
8 years
conviction, and so did you. And I was
Me?
very confused by it.
Yes, I thought we were doing a bit where we were making the old guy, the young guy, old because the catcher's the new hot thing in town after they'd already tired of their Latino Ken Griffey Jr., J-Rod, who went 0-for-5 in this, by the way. He's been surpassed as a star in his city. He was supposed to be the star of these champion Mariners. He's not. Their catcher is. The catcher took the team from him.
It's amazing, and they have Randy Arozarena.
If you think your family.
What?
You kind of did that.
I don't look. I can't speak with conviction. I'm a know-it-all, but I know nothing about this, so I'm enjoying you guys informing me.
Remember that class action I was talking about?
All right, so I want to bring in Greg on something here because I meant to say this a couple of days ago. If we're going to cover football and sports in this silly of a fashion, it is pretty interesting when the Arizona Cardinals have a loss for all times, like one of the great debacles ever seen in the history of the sport, and they all pride themselves as like being these military units of precision on Sundays. Arizona's clown show. That game they lost is impossible to lose. You play it 1,000 times, you're supposed to win it 1,000 times. They drop a ball in the end zone that would have put them up 28-6. And afterward, a coach that I made fun of 2 weeks ago because you can't win with a top Jonathan unless it's Ogden or unless it's Taylor. But if he's going to go Jonathan, it's a Gannon. And he was a total stoic. He's one of these robots. These look, I got Kyler Murray. We busted on Josh Rosen. We got out of that quick. It burned up Kingsbury. I'm one of these boy children who's trying to be the next McVay. Stoic. Like, that guy has lost games. That team's pretty talented, but all close games, you never see anything from this guy's face. And then his running back flips away a casual touchdown, and this guy puts his hands on the player on the sidelines while yelling at him. When I just told you 2 weeks ago, this guy seems to show no emotion ever. He seems almost robotically principled about, I'm in control here. There's nothing that can happen in this game that can affect me, right until my running back's a dumbass,
Right.
and then I get enraged and want to punch him on the sidelines.
Yeah, he's allowed to do that, in my opinion.
Whoa!
Yes, he's allowed.
He got fined $100,000.
Yeah,
The boy
that's
child?
fine.
The
That's
boy
fine.
child did.
Yeah,
Dan,
the-
when you said he's one of these boy children,
What does that mean?
were you
exactly?
thinking
You know what
was
I-
your very next thought like, I hope no one seizes on this? That does sound
yes,
weird.
Yes, I meant
Boy
to say.
children.
I wrote it down.
I meant to
He's
say
one of these boy children.
child wonder is what I meant.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah.
Glad-
child
so I'm
wonder.
glad we were
Okay.
right to seize on that, right?
I think the phrase is boy wonder, not child wonder.
Okay,
or
so
boy child.
you know what my point was? One of these young masterminds on offense that's going to make Kyler Murray championship good.
Well, he's a defensive guy. Yeah. He's that type of boy child.
Okay, here's the thing. We're talking about football here, okay? Sort of a rough sport. I don't know how you guys follow the game, how closely. We're talking about a sport where you literally hit each other. You're allowed to punch the ball out of somebody's arms. And we're worried about somebody laying hands on somebody? Laying hands. You think he hurt the running back?
Dude,
I don't
you
think
cannot
so.
defend that. You cannot defend it.
$100,000
You cannot.
fine for that?
He struck a coworker. He struck like his player. That was a bad look. And honestly, like ESPN did a bad job covering this. They did a bad job. Like, it was only until, like, after the fine was levied did they start talking about it, because this video was out there. Jonathan Gannon gave people license to discuss this. He was sorry, as he should be, because he said that he hadn't seen the clip, which is BS. But we can have sound from his press conference. Let Jonathan Gannon speak for himself, because I do think he had a fair amount of contrition, because this is not just a bad look. Honestly, should have been considered as a fireable offense. Not just
crazy.
Losing that game, but striking a player that viciously.
He slapped the guy on the arm.
I think he struck him pretty hard. I mean, DeMarcado's a big back, and his body gets pushed back. But let's have Jonathan Gannon speak for himself, the boy child.
I didn't see the video, David, but yeah, I actually I woke up this morning and didn't feel great about it, honestly. And so in the team meeting, I addressed it. I apologized to Omari, apologized to the team. And I just told him I kind of let the moment of what happened get the better of me there. Obviously, like I try to be emotionally stable and calm, because my job is to solve problems when during a game and kind of lead the charge on that. So it's not really who I am, who I want to be, and I told the guys that today. So it's a mistake by me, and it's just like everybody in there. Everybody made some type of mistake yesterday, which is, culminates to why we didn't win the game.
No.
And we can't let it happen moving forward.
He just blamed DeMarcado again for being on the receiving end of being struck.
I love how he's like, I didn't see the video, but I just woke up. And I didn't feel right.
He should have been called into the owner's office. That was such a bad look. Number one, losing the game is terrible. That's just a terrible job out of him.
Well, can we go a step further, though? Hold on. I mean, come on, because bad luck is such a swipe that doesn't even mean anything anymore. It really doesn't. Right. Bad luck.
It means nothing.
This person who's in charge, who I just 2 weeks ago, I'm watching these boy children who lead these men into battle, and I pointed out 2 weeks ago, this is like the most stoic of the dudes. This is like Bud Grant. This guy shows no emotion. It is calamity out there every weekend with that team, because his quarterback's a lunatic who just runs from side to side trying to get away from coverage and does it pretty well, but isn't good enough and is going to get ground up physically by what it is to play for that organization. That guy put his hands on his running back because he's like, you jackass, it's all our futures. What are you doing flipping the ball there? We had the game won. Of course he's enraged. Of course he's emotional. And of course he's got to be better than that.
He's allowed the frustration, in my opinion, and he said what he had to say. You have to do the rote apology, because there's a lot of people like Mike who are saying that's a fireable offense. I could not
I'm the
disagree
snowflake.
More.
I understand being super upset with DeMarcado in that situation. I understand getting in his face. I'll even abide by a little face mask tug. But to strike an individual? If that happens in any other workplace, the person is possibly fired on the spot.
Wait a minute. So you'll allow a face mask tug, but not a slap on
said
the
a
arm?
slight.
Yeah,
He said a
slight.
slight tug.
We're not talking about 15 yards here. We're talking about the old school 5-yard penalty.
Okay, do you think the big running back was injured by that?
Do you think he
slap on
didn't
the
feel
arm?
bad? Hey, DeMarcado on the sideline was despondent.
Yeah, and should have been.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not like he was over there all smiles. There's no reason to justify it, and Gannon's apology was good up until the point he decided to blame DeMarcado again.
Because the guy was full of blame for what he did. There's certain things in sports that you can't do because they're totally within your control. You can't do that because you're showboating and costing your team a touchdown and a victory. That's the football equivalent of hitting the game-winning grand slam and having it not count because you forgot to touch first base. You just cannot do that. And if I'm the coach or the manager and my player does that, I'm going to be frustrated, I'm going to be angry, and I have a right to be.
Time to throw away all journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation.
You're good.
Thank you. He's kicked a dog.
Whoa, I mean, come on.
I mean, come
We
on.
don't know that.
Come on.
It is kick a dog energy.
That is kick a dog energy.
But we don't know that it
That is
occurred.
bad dog.
Hold on.
Kick a dog energy. That is no. I'm just saying.
It's worse than a bad look. It's worse than a bad look.
You cannot tell me that's not kick a dog energy.
KDE.
I have a question, Greg. So DeMarcado's 5'9" and Gannon is 6 feet. I guess this is a question for Mike, too. If it was opposites, if Gannon was 5'9" and DeMarcado was 6 feet, would it change things?
It's the employer dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, no, I
I
agree with that situation where it's because like then you start talking about Draymond Green punching teammates. And it's like, it's sports, that happens, right? But there's like the boss-employee situation. But if their body types were different, would it change things?
DeMarcado's got some biceps to him.
This is not an office where this happens and you call HR.
What do you mean?
Okay, this is a violent sport, and the idea of a coach barely slapping a player's arm.
That wasn't barely. That wasn't barely. I think the issue that I and many other people like me, snowflakes, took issue with was the fact that it wasn't just a little slap on the arm. That was he struck the man.
Yeah.
That he gave him a Ric Flair chop across his chest.
I've seen Chris and his father wrestle. Greg will get grabby with the elbows. Greg is not above saying publicly to all who will listen, I'm fine with striking a man. That's it.
He's like, I'll break your arm off. That's what he'll say to me.
Oh, I mean, I'm kidding when I say it.
Are you?
I'll rip your fingers off. Sure.
No.
Yeah.
Greg can be a violent man when enraged.
No, I can't be a violent man.
Chris?
If his car's the wrong color, I mean, all bets are off.
Okay, that's fair.
Call Erlene. I want to find out how she feels about this Corvette.
Did you
she
just
gave
eat that
Greg.
for like 3 years or whatever?
Yeah.
You just
Not
drove
three-
around a car you didn't like for how many years?
I mean, I grew to like it. You know, it was a nice car. It was my first one. I was thrilled to have it. You know, but, you know.
The last time a head coach struck a player that I can recall was Bruce Arians. And I think the media held him accountable there.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my God! Did I shriek to the heavens?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something you see often
I get-
because it's wrong.
Didn't Mike Singletary show his wiener to his team one
Yeah,
time in
I
a
think it was
It was a
motivation?
different
There
time.
you go.
It was
Yeah.
it was
Nothing wrong.
No, it was his front. It wasn't his back. It was his front. He said, "Look at these. You guys don't have a pair of these or something like that."
No, it was his back.
I'm pretty sure
It
it
was
was.
his back.
No,
It was his back.
I gotta look it up. It was
was
a
his
crazy
back.
story.
You're gonna
I think-
look it
was
up?
his back.
Yeah,
It was
I think it was his front. He said, "You guys don't have a pair of these."
Billy,
Okay,
it was Palm Beach. It was the 90s.
The key was he didn't strike anybody with the penis, apparently, because if you
That would have
if
been the
you-
line for
That's
you.
If
an
you lay
HR
hands
violation,
on somebody.
What happened to the
Oh
great
my
Bobby
God.
Knight?
Oh my God! I laid a hand on a player.
Yeah.
Come on. I get why the league instituted this fine. I get why the league fined him. The league has to do that. They have to be politically correct. They got to do all that
not
stuff.
politically
I
correct,
guarantee you that most Cardinal fans are like, yeah, I'd have hit that guy too.
This is not a Newsmax engagement story. This is not. It's not PC culture. It's not the softening of America. It's bad. I think we have consensus. You watch that video. Head coach should not be doing that to players.
Most fans would have hit him too.
Oh, come on. He needlessly and carelessly and with full of ego.
That was a touchdown.
Cost his team
Well,
a
that's the
touchdown.
other
It was a
part.
It was a
touchdown.
touchdown.
That's
Didn't
the other
even
part.
look.
The ball is ahead of the foot.
That's
the
the
foot
other
is
part.
clearly on the line.
That's the other part.
touchdown.
The other part is the whole league got it wrong. Look, if you want to go macro on this is flatly cruel here, okay? The place we've arrived with dehumanization of these athletes with our fantasy leagues and our addictions to all the action. This dude was shamed upon this happening. America's laughter fell upon him. That must be a mental health crisis, and his coach was not an ally or helpful there because Greg says he's right to be enraged because all of America was. You careless fool, you idiot. I just learned who you were, and what I know now is you're an idiot. You cost your team one of the most epic collapse I've seen this century. I'm not kidding you when I tell you that the way that game was lost, that Cam Ward throwing an interception that ends up being the biggest touchdown of his game-winning career in the pros because Arizona kept giving the ball back. Arizona became a source of national shame, a regional team for so long. Kyler Murray can't pull them out of it. They're a regional team. That team fights to be 500 every year and threw away a football game yesterday. And the face of that is a guy whose name we all learned together, and I wondered if he was Hispanic. And then I'm like, this guy is going to get buried, and America's laughing at you. Wow, that feels. And there's your coach to tell you just how shitty you are, and now he struck you. Like, yeah, we'll be liberal in saying, oh, that's so, like, come on, toughen up, America. But, like, our cruelty is slapping this kid in the face. Like, he cares about his job.
I hate that we're at a place where, like, someone's labeled soft for saying you shouldn't be doing that. It's obvious to the eye that a head coach should not be doing that. Any workplace, that's not okay. And I understand the NFL is not just any workplace. There's a reason why we're talking about it. There's a reason why there's film of it. There's a reason why he got fined $100,000 because it is consensus. We have everybody agreeing here. Shouldn't have done it.
No, Greg's not agreeing with that.
Look, I'm fine acknowledging that it's not something that you want to see out of your head coach. He was right to apologize. Maybe the league was right to fine him, although it's a slap on the wrist, a token fine.
That's not the phrasing you want to use.
$100,000 is not a small fine.
Right.
No, it's not even just that it's fine. Guys, to make this go away, you have to make it look punitive, as if you know that it's bad. But it's only not as bad as it should be because everyone's yawning and doing what Greg's doing. Look, he's in charge. He's allowed to be frustrated. The dude was an idiot. What difference does it make if the boss hits him? But the part I'm laughing at is I've mentioned the demeanor of a head coach in the NFL how many times with us doing this history of the sport when I'm telling you that Tom Coughlin's not helping the kicker when the kickers missed the field goal in Green Bay and the whole Giants building falls on the kicker and Coughlin yells at him because he's not disciplined to make a kick in the snow. We've allowed this in football so that the guy in charge is in such power that, of course, he could hit the employee and Greg would yawn and it would be $100,000. And we'd say that's a lot, but it's not enough. This guy's job is to make sure that those players feel like they are allies protected with him, by him. Like, you're not going to come touch me, coach, not unless you're willing for me to touch you back.
I cannot believe he took the opportunity to blame DeMarcado again.
He apologized, and at the end, he's just like, "Oh, we all made mistakes.
A lot of mistakes were made in that situation. We all made it. That sucked.
He broke the plane.
He didn't make a mistake. He scored a touchdown. He saved your bacon with a huge run.
Man. I still don't get it.
Major KDE.
Maybe it was a bad call by the officiating, but that's off point here. For the record, I never called the running back an idiot. Okay, I called him careless.
No, but I'm just saying that's what America's doing.
Okay.
You might be more careful with your language, but what I'm saying is it must really stink to be the face of failure on the run of your life because it's a 70-yard run. They're hard to get the big plays in that sport. You've had 3 touchdowns in your career. This is a big moment for you, and it turns like that into you're the one everyone in the sport is laughing at today for being careless with the 1 o'clock games. With the 1 o'clock game stunk, and your game was interesting, and you threw we all paid attention on Sunday. You were one of the big stories because you fool.
Yeah, all of the athletes on failing teams talk about we have to have accountability, right? That's like a mantra in sports, especially in football, I think. And so this is a matter of that. You have to take accountability. You effed up majorly, okay? And yes, majorly is a word.
No one disagrees with any of that.
Okay, so when you do F up, you can't feel that surprise when your teammate yells at you and admonishes you on the sideline.
Though.
Yeah, okay.
But teammates do that too.
I don't think he's surprised. I think he's surprised by getting struck.
Yeah.
No, that we don't see it all that often. For all the macho attributes you want to apply to this sport, I remember when coaches do this because it's a rare sight. Because not just is it a rare sight, it's a really bad look. Mm-hmm. It's super unprofessional.
Okay.
Bad looks doing so much work there. Why don't we call it what it is, guys? You cannot have the white authority figure putting his hands on.
I don't want to make this.
There
race.
we go.
It's a power dynamic thing more than a race thing.
Even if he was a white player, it'd be a problem.
NFL HR would be so wild, honestly, if like Monday it's like, okay, if you have any HR complaints about this weekend, call in. It's like, when I was at the bottom of that dog pile, someone's finger went.
That's such a good.
It's like, wait, what? Hold on a second. Do you know which number, what color was the jersey of the opposing player? Like, made me feel really uncomfortable when number 72 from the other team touched my arm. And then I was like, please stop doing that, sir. And then he tried to swing and told me he tried to punch at the ball, but instead he punched me in the head, and it made me feel really inadequate at the time.
There you go.
NFL HR. I mean, come on.
I'm serious.
I, by the way, was trying to clear up some misrememberings earlier on the Mike Singletary situation. So Mike Singletary in October of 2008 was the interim head coach of the 49ers, and they were down 20-3 to the Seattle Seahawks. So he decided as the interim head coach.
What year is it?
2008, October 2008, as the interim head coach.
So
he's early interim head coach,
okay,
but
so
October's
wait,
early for an interim head coach.
But jar my memory here. So this. So Mike Singletary is being given one of these Jeff Saturday jobs before he's actually qualified. He's done some assistant head coaching, but he's the emotional leader of the 49ers, and he is their coach, and he's embroiled in what?
He's the interim head coach. It's October 2008. They were losing 20-3 to the Seahawks, and he decided to drop his pants during the halftime speech to motivate the team, to express to them that they were getting their tails whipped. Unclear as to whether or not Mike Singletary has a tail, but he decided to drop his pants for visual aids. Now, their speculation ranges from he was in his boxers to he mooned the team.
No, there was not speculation. This was stronger than speculation at the time.
No, I will
this
say
was before the insiders.
Okay, I will say this. I went to the ESPN article from October 30th, 2008, which was written by John Clayton, and at the top there is a note saying this story has been corrected because there were various rumors going around as to what the extent of his pant dropping entailed. So then I did a follow-up Google search, which was, did Mike Singletary show his penis to his team? And then Google AI says, no, that claim that Mike Singletary showed his penis to his team is categorically false and a baseless rumor.
All right, Pablo, find out, please.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Maybe butt, maybe tail.
I thought it was reported as he
penis.
mooned his team.
What a boner. The mistake by Singletary.
Get it?
You know, it was just
Double
a bad
entendre.
mistake he made.
Thank you, Billy, for the helpful aid.
Because it could be
yes,
like a
what
mistake or an
boner.
erection.
What
Yeah.
a boner. Yes, it was a boner. That's correct.
Thank you.
Greg's on fire today, man.
He's 70 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't have to bathe after taking coins from the local team while protecting his journalism. And the young kids are out at the gym right now Tony wants in on his football conversation. This is his moment to shine, and we've had him sitting around for 30 minutes. He's in one of our gym's lovely here at the Elser. This is a good gym. This is one of, I think I can say it. This is one of the better gyms you will find anywhere in Miami.
Great view in that gym.
Dan, Tony's Top 5 is presented by Smirnoff, the official vodka sponsor of the National Football League. Smirnoff, please drink responsibly. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Vodka, 40% alcohol by volume.
Going to be a better view in 4 years.
Well, can we talk about that or no? Can we talk about the presidential
careful.
library?
He's
You want to talk about it right now?
It's going to be speaking
Yeah, Tony, what are your thoughts?
at Kaseya in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so
My thoughts are, let's get to the top 5.
we've got
My brother.
right next to us, Tony. Tony, you were just Tony, didn't you just go to Freedom Tower with my dad? Didn't you just do that?
Yes.
I did. It was lovely. It was cool to see somebody who had been there and walk back in. Your dad's face for the first time when we saw like the grand hall where he walked in was unreal. It's something I'll never forget, Dan. So thank you for that, actually.
Did you scout that locale next door? Nice little plot.
I took a look. Yeah.
Why are you talking about this in such cryptic terms?
Going to make a great library/hotel/casino.
All right, so you guys need to watch Last Week Tonight on presidential libraries and what an amazing grift that is. And the land next to us, right between us and the Freedom Tower.
How do you like the setup tone?
As Tony
good.
sues the company, I think
You would.
the view right now is of Freedom Tower. Or are you on the other side of the gym? The gym's 2 stories over there. Can you see the Freedom Tower from where you are?
Dan, I could see it bright and clear right in front of me. It looks good. It's actually never looked better, Dan, to be honest.
Knock it down. It's going to block a hell of a building.
But by next year, does it mean between now and then DeSantis is going to give Trump a casino to put there?
This is my
Look,
favorite
I don't
episode.
have that information.
Okay,
what
but-
I would say is,
Boy.
buy some stock in the Freedom Tower. I think it'll be fine.
Top 5 plots of land to put a library/hotel/casino.
Didn't
The Shorty's plot of land that just sold for $14 million.
Right, the old Herald building. Let's have 2 libraries.
Do people know how much
He was president twice.
Do you know
Should have been 3.
There's no land in South Florida. There's a plot of land next to us that DeSantis just gave to Trump to put a greasy casino.
Presidential library, technically.
Slash hotel slash casino.
Between me and the Freedom Tower. I can see the Freedom Tower now.
Read between the lines.
Enjoy the view while you still
While
have
you
it.
still can.
That view's gone because the parking lot
Ooh,
is
that feels
exactly
good.
where it's going.
And leave it right there. Don't elevate it because
can't
climate
put-
change is a lie.
You can't put Trump's story in my father's shadow like that. Come on.
Your father's going to be the one in the shadow. I think.
Yeah. Your father will be cutting the ribbon.
My father came to this country through
He'll
that
be at the ribbon
building.
cutting ceremony like all our great Cubanos that have been here for a long time.
My
None
father's
of that TPS nonsense.
My father's 82.
Some would say too long.
He just went to Freedom Tower with
Top
Tony.
5 Cubans that have been here too long. Number 1, Dan Le Batard. Number 2, Mark Cuban, Little Mouthy.
Did Tony
Go
hurt
on,
his
Mike, keep
hip?
going.
Why is he doing stuff on his
3,
thigh?
Mike
What
Ryan,
is happening?
No,
arrepentido.
so we learned, Billy. That's true. Amen.
going on?
So we learned, obviously, Carmen is doing a great job here, and what we learned is it's actually not my hip; it's my sartorius muscle.
It's sartorius.
My sartorius muscle that is actually a little known muscle that goes from the top of the quad all the way down underneath the big quad muscle. So Carmen diagnosed me and was able to figure out, hey, look, it's not your hip. It's actually your quad. So, Dan, I'm going to have to change the lawsuit and say quad instead of hip. So, just so you know the verbiage on that.
Number 4, Chef Andres. And number 5, Cuban that's been here too long, Bad Bunny.
Can you guys get cleared for me? Can you please get cleared for me what Last Week Tonight did with Fox's reaction to Bad Bunny and just the idea of a Latin Super Bowl show? Because I'd like to be able to replay that. But Tony, I'm sorry, we've taken enough of your segment. Tell me, what's OLI? What are you doing? Just observations?
We got a couple OLIs, and then we're going to get into the top 5, Dan. So we'll start in OLI number 1. Daniel Jones might actually be the MVP if it wasn't that Baker is actually going to win the MVP.
Oh, wow, we're already there. Week 6, you guys are going to do that?
We do this every year.
I mean, Dan,
week 6
who's
with
leading
Baker.
the MVP race right now?
But you're
Gotta
doing
be
that?
Baker.
Who led it in Week
Yeah, of course
6
I'm doing
last
that.
year?
It was Baker last year too. Like we do this with Baker kind of every year, and at the end, everything shakes out.
This
the
is
way it
this is
does.
unprecedented.
Oh, it's a popularity contest. Oh, Josh Allen. Yeah, he was so good. Okay, fine, whatever.
I think it's the first time since
Let's
the
give
merger,
Baker a shot.
A team that has won 4 of its 5 first games in the last minute.
And when they finish 10-7, we'll doubt them in a bad division because they won't be quite as good as the Rams in a playoff game. Like Baker Mayfield's now in the top tier of he's going to be playing important games, at least in part because he'll always win that division. Where are we going next?
All right, the second OLI.
That looks like it
Commies are a
feels
problem,
good.
Dan.
That looks like it feels good.
No, when she digs in the elbow into the sartorius muscle, it doesn't feel good.
I am
That's
really
why I had to
getting-
give the groan.
Oh, look at
because
the
it's not,
skin in that, like,
not feeling
being
good.
cupped.
What
at
is
the
that?
top
Is that
there.
color
Ugh.
puncture? What is that? Why do you were you cupped?
Yeah,
what is that?
it's called cupping, Dan. Yeah,
I am
Yeah,
getting
it's
to
called
know
cupping,
Tony
Dan. It
here.
actually allows the blood to kind of rush up through the cup and
Wait,
then
this feels
disperse back
this
down
feels
into the muscle.
pornographic.
Can you move that towel?
really does.
What a boner.
This feels pornographic. That's the most pornographic thing we've done.
Really, I'm looking at Deshaun Watson here. What's going on?
Aw, come on.
Greg,
I like that one, Greg. Play on for me. All right, Dan, commies are a problem.
Play on.
You agree?
Play on.
Play on.
Commies
play on.
are a
Let's have fun.
problem. The Freedom Tower is going to be blocked by the shadow of the Trump grift casino.
OLI, both Manny Diaz's.
That would.
That's
that
how
would
it's
actually be
gonna end for
capitalism
us.
as a problem, but that's a
how
different
it's gonna
story.
end for us. Seriously, they're going to take the view next door with a casino. My father came into this country through that building.
and he'll be going out of it through that building.
As the casino host,
That's right.
brought to you by DraftKings.
Get ready to learn Palantir, Papi.
why'd they move the fight from the 4th of July to his birthday? That's crazy.
'Cause it's a greater date.
He's 82. My father's
Last-
82. He came to this country through that building.
Last OLI, Flacco to the Bengals. Intrigued.
That was a good one yesterday. That was a good old-fashioned one where we all rose our eyebrows and like, oh, Flacco will give you 4 touchdowns to Chase and Higgins in a game. Maybe Gesicki will get involved because it's Flacco. Or he'll throw 5 interceptions.
You have Jake Browning for that. Flacco will come in and throw touchdowns.
Everybody,
You're good.
Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm right or wrong here. Everyone in sports had a consensus reaction to that trade, which was maybe on Flacco for a couple of games with those receivers. Consensus?
100%.
Great trade, Cincinnati.
Yes.
Oli, Little Marco. Oh, wait, no, we like him now.
Too many Diaz's.
Yeah, both of them. All right, number 5. Here come the Broncos.
Yeah, everyone's
Damn,
saying
Broncos
that.
are a team, like you said, they could be 5-0. A couple bad bounces, a couple penalties. They could be a 5-0 team, and we'd be talking about them like Super Bowl
They
favorites.
hadn't trailed in a fourth quarter until they got to Philadelphia and ransacked the champions in the fourth quarter.
Here they come. Number 4. The Patriots are a playoff team. I'm going to say it now, week 6. Patriots are a playoff team.
Billy, you laugh at that? You scoff?
Oh, OLI, AOC.
Number 3.
Are we sending her back?
Yes, back to Cuba.
Okay.
Which is where all these people are from.
Number 3, Dan, do you know what the D in Dolphin stands for?
Oh, boy.
It's going to be a Spanish word. De pinga.
What's the D in Dolphin? De pinga! Yes, Dan! Attaboy! You're on it today. The D in Dolphin stands for de pinga. You lose to the Panthers, who are terrible. They don't even want to win, and you lose to them. Christ almighty.
With their quarterback calling a timeout he didn't have, how is that not a penalty?
Tiny quarterback at that, Dan.
How is that not a penalty? Greg Cody?
It is a penalty, isn't it?
It wasn't called as a penalty. It was Bryce Young called a timeout he did not have.
Should have been a penalty.
What is that, a song?
The league's
Thank you,
cheating
Greg.
on his behalf.
Should have been a penalty.
Should have been a penalty.
Jeremy Taché is Jewish.
Yeah, Jewish and Cuban.
Oh, double whammy.
Number 2.
Number 2. Did you guys just hear that? Hold on. Ooh, do you hear that?
Does that feel good? That's not a
That
punishment.
was Dan Campbell.
How is that?
No, Dan, that was Dan Campbell prying open the Lions Super Bowl window, air suction cup window that he just pried open with a crowbar, Dano. Lions back.
Billy, what, you're making a face at that?
Nah, I'm just, these are great points that Tony's making. Taking forever, but.
Number 1.
Number 1, there's only one place we could go, Dan. Do you want to say it for me?
I'm sorry. I was put off by Billy saying that you were taking forever.
The chance of him getting it right, Tony, this has dragged on forever. I mean, we were talking about this before, like, what's Tony doing? He's like, oh, it's going to be a surprise. I'm like, oh, boy. That
Very
went well
rude to
last
interrupt
time.
the man.
Yeah, sorry. Go on.
Thank you, Mike. Can you please tell
It's
him
your
again?
list.
We may need to look into that shipping container also and see who else we need to send back.
Say the whole name out loud.
Number 1, Dano.
Send back.
Duval.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's coming. Tony's coming. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
4-1. Dan beat the 2-time Super Bowl champion Chiefs a couple of years ago on a gutsy Monday night win. Duval.
I'm gonna
boys.
say, do I have this wrong? I'm gonna say that this is Tony's proudest football moment since riding with the Jacksonville Jags. We didn't even celebrate it yesterday since he was lighting candles to San Boselli, which Tony went all in on the Jags. Jags had a comeback that cost Mike Ryan $80,000. We learned yesterday, which was a shocking number to hear. One of the most shocking comebacks in the history of the sport. Jacksonville's finest moment since then is right now, this moment. You are lighting candles again today for Boselli.
Yeah, it's as probably the biggest Jags person on the planet, basically at this point. I'm very excited. I think Jacksonville, they did a lot of stupid things, Dan, if you want me to be really honest. I don't know anybody in the NFL that throws past the line of scrimmage more than enough of you.
You gave up on them after 1 week. You said this is their year. Then they lost week 1, and you gave up on them. And now you're the biggest Jags representative on this play. Get out of here.
That's that again. Enough from you.
Discord.
Nobody throws the ball past the line of scrimmage more than Trevor Lawrence. I don't think he understands like where the line of scrimmage is. Like we need to put one of those VR headsets that shows the line, so you can be like, buddy, do not pass this line and throw the ball. On top of that, delay of games. Why does he have 9 delay of games a game? Like what is that? And then he falls in the play and then gets up and scores a touchdown. Like thank God he did that, because that would have been a bad one to come back to. But the Jags, Dan, 4-1, they're frisky. Who would have thought that AFC South is going to be a bit of a problem in the AFC, huh? Colts, Jaguars.
Duval.
They're doing the thing where they probably walked out on me.
Billy, he's doing 4-1
Yeah,
frisky Jags. He's doing frisky Jags. Billy, are you going to go?
Are they not frisky?
Yeah, but you
They're
gave up on
frisky.
them after week 1. Now you're back.
Changing
You don't
his
get
mind.
it. You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. I wasn't out on them after week 1. They had a disappointing week 1, but now they're stringed off a couple wins in a row, and Jags are a problem. They're frisky. Nobody wants to play the Jags. I'll tell you that right now. Nobody wants to play the Jags.
I feel
Unless
like
they're
you
on the
do.
schedule, then
I
they have to
feel
play
like
them.
you do want to play the Jags. You feel like they're going to figure out a way to punch themselves in the face in the fourth quarter. I feel like everyone's going to keep watching all season, expecting Trevor Lawrence to have a three turnover game because he makes throws 3 laser beams and throws 3 interceptions.
Yeah, their defensive takeaways are not sustainable. They'll finish 9-8.
Seahawks don't want to play the Jags.
Whoa.
Rams might. Raiders definitely don't. Texans after that. Texans are a frisky team too, Tony, huh?
Yeah, they are. Frisky.
All right, friskier. Put it on the poll. Oh, this is a good one. A frisky off. Who's the friskiest? Wait a minute. This is how we're doing it? Frisky? I saw a stat yesterday that the Ravens defense this season has given up more than the Ravens championship season of Ray Lewis the entire season. The entire season, the year that the Ravens won the championship, they gave up 165 points because they had to win all their games 9-6 with Shannon Sharp.
Is this the same place you got the Jake Browning stat?
No,
from?
this is the correct stat. Look it up. Look it up. I'm
That's
sorry I didn't do it
wild.
with the stat of the day. They've already that's got to be right.
More
That's-
what? Points or yards?
No, they've given up more points already in 5 games this season than the championship defense of Ray Lewis did the entire season when Trent Dilfer was their quarterback and they needed Shannon Sharp to get 17 yards a game so that they could win 9-6 because their team they won a championship not scoring for 5 weeks.
We're going to check it out. Are you nervous after the David
I'm
Montgomery
pretty
stat?
confident. Yes, I am nervous after the David Montgomery stat, but I feel like I've got this one right.
It's 5 games. It's so hard to believe.
I believe it because I think that team you're referring to gave up less than 200 points.
I think the number is 175 or 177 they've already given up this season. And it was like 160-something that season.
It was 165. Dan is right.
Wow! Big bounce back, Danny!
Dolly.
Sweet
Hello,
relief.
Dolly. That is it.
Hello, Dolly. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, yeah.
Dolly
is
right. Dolly.
Nick Wright, what are you more than anything? Because I look at you and I think that your proudest source of entertainment is like old-timey radio guy who respects the most performative aspects of whatever audio is, and that would be the thing that you respect most as an entertainer. What is the answer? I'm sorry to introduce you this way, but
Hi.
I because I want
Odd first question.
I want
It's
all,
fine. I like it.
want all his Chiefs information here because I'm genuinely curious for football knowledge from him on what happened with Jacksonville when the margins in these games are so small, and whether what he thinks of what happens with the Chiefs. And I'm also interested in what he has to say about LeBron James.
Smoother intro. Yeah. You're
Yeah,
doing great.
all of that. Plus, also, I want the shipping container to know. Dan texts me, I think 2 minutes before your guys' show started. Hey, make sure, Dan, I guess I'm okay to say this. I'm saying it. Make sure you have a question ready for United States Senator Cory Booker. I then respond with, I think, a legitimate response, which is, okay, is he on with me? I have not heard from Dan until this introduction since then. So I stepped in thinking like, did we double? Am I Am I being parachuted in?
No, so the reason I introduced you so clumsily is because I've got Erlene Cody, Greg Cody's wife, is on the line with a hygiene question, and I don't want to waste your time, but I really do want to get to your opinions on some things.
No, that's fine. I'd rather I have a chance to be on this. I'm more nervous about being on with Greg Cody's wife than United States Senator Cory Booker.
Well,
Hi, Ms. Cody. How are you?
She's speaking on
Go
behalf
ahead.
of Cory Booker
Well,
today.
and Chris Cody has just said her internet is not great,
Yeah, I'm
so
nervous about
I'm
this.
worried about this, the entirety of doing
we're off
this.
to a great start, but I have a lot of answers for you. But let's go to Ms. Cody first, and then I will.
Thank
do
you for
the
taking the
thing.
risk with us. I was going to ask your
Mrs.
opinion and
yeah.
assume that
Been
you would
married
have
a
told
while.
us to take that risk. But we've got here's what the conversation is that we're having. Greg Cody was complaining when I came in here today that his wife had gotten him a white Corvette as a birthday gift, and he was complaining about it. He was saying that he had to drive it around for 2 years. He didn't like it as a gift, and I thought it was a great gift, and so that's why we're having his wife on. Greg's now saying he's being misrepresented.
Yes, thank you.
What do you mean?
Erlene, it came up that, I was so appreciative to get a surprise car as a birthday gift, but that white is not my favorite color for a car. That's all. And so hypothetically, I was having a conversation. When somebody gifts you a car, but you don't prefer the color, how do you handle that? That's all.
Well, I think that you should have not left out the facts of it's been 20 years since then, and you've had 4 other Corvettes, including being offered to get a brand new one
Right.
with
None
the new
of them white.
design.
Right.
None of them have been white since
Right.
then. I'm sorry, those 2 years of a lease was just so painful for you after you got rid of your minivan for that.
The minivan. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you, Erlene. Your husband is forever disappointing. Also, he came in here today without having showered after being in a hockey locker room.
That's true. Thanks, dear.
Welcome to my world.
Real
Yeah,
prize
okay.
you got
All right,
there.
goodbye.
Goodbye, Erlene. Sorry, Nick. Sorry I did all of that. I'm
Nick
sorry.
didn't
No,
ask it a
I'm
question
not
for
sorry
Cory.
about it at all. I just recently got my dad a car for his 75th birthday, 56 Chevy Bel Air.
Nice.
The first car he ever drove.
Oh, that's a wonderful gift. What an emotional, what a
Yeah.
great gift.
What a
What a
great
good
car.
gift giver. What a secret what a secret sentimentalist Nick Wright is.
So again, I don't know if this is a look at me, Louie, or a humble brag. You guys have that sound effect. I don't know. I'm a very good gift giver. I don't know what love languages are and such, but I'm not the best at keeping in touch. I'm not the best at like daily check-ins. In fact, I might be the worst at that, but I try to overcompensate by grand gestures. Now, to answer, I think your initial question, which was what thing in media is most impressive to me, I think was the question, and my answer to that is stand-up comic. Because I think being a great stand-up comic would, at least for the way my brain works, give me a sense of fulfillment more than anything else in media, including or entertainment, including rock star or movie star. Because if you're a movie star, yes, you're the star, but there's so much that goes into the production. Even if you're a rock star, unless you're really like Adele standing alone on stage, and I don't even know enough about Adele, like is there accompaniment with her? It's a whole production. Stand-up comedian in a theater with just a microphone with live real-time reaction to am I doing this well or not, I think would be it's the most impressive to me when people are great at it, and it would be the single coolest feeling. That's my thoughts there. Do you just want me to go straight into the Chiefs, or do you want to ask more questions? What do you want to do?
The thing that I wanted to ask you after that as a sports media performer is what are you proudest of that you do, given that you're actually respecting the craft of how to entertain within this space? So you have, for 10 years, you've ridden this ridiculous LeBron James take that he's better than Michael Jordan, and everyone yells at you, and it's just ridiculous how funny it is. And then yesterday, your boy, now that you're the most public of LeBron supporters, he does a grotesque commercialization.
Oh my God. I'm so glad we're talking about this, because that tweet, you know how, gosh, and I hate to bring him up this quickly. I don't mean to. But you know how your guy Pablo's been saying this story is an IQ test? And about the Kawhi Leonard thing. I truly thought that LeBron's tweet 2 days ago, the decision part 2 or whatever it was an IQ test. And I am shocked at how many people in the media failed it. And here's why. And to give you full disclosure on this. So, I can't just hit up LeBron and ask him a question, but I can hit up Rich. I could hit up Mav. I did neither. And my pod, What's Right with Nick Wright, is every Tuesday around 10:30 a.m. Eastern. The producers asked me, do you think we should push it a bit until after whatever LeBron does, he does? And I said, with no recon and no research, absolutely not. There is no chance that is anything but a commercial. How did I know that? The same reason every single person should have known that. Tuesday at noon. That was the whole thing. Anybody that has been following LeBron James for a quarter century that thought he was going to announce his retirement or retirement tour on a Tuesday at noon is a moron. That was not he made us think he was retiring and it's a Hennessy ad. Anybody with a pulse should have known that was going to be an ad. You don't have to be a LeBronologist to know that he's not announcing his retirement on a nondescript Tuesday at noon. So I think everybody I saw a lot of people I like saying, he's selling in, trading in his credibility. Give me a break. Anybody that thought he was announcing his retirement,
you've mentioned that. You've mentioned that. No,
what day and time should we expect it?
Prime time on a Monday, I would imagine. Some pomp and circumstances. If that tweet said Monday 7 p.m., I'd be like, oh, well, look out. Well, hold on. Maybe something's here. But, yeah, that's the thing. I don't think anybody actually thought he was announcing his retirement.
I didn't think. I will tell you this, though, and you're saying this to my face, and I do feel like a fool. I was not doing any of that time stuff. I did think that he was teasing with people's feelings because he does that. It's been a move for 15 years, and it's worked. He is the internet age's athlete, and he's being a troll as a dad at the end. And I do feel like a moron, and you're calling me on it. But I also thought it was also grotesquely commercial.
No, I think obviously the proper way to announce a retirement or to retire in the NBA, if you really want to be the GOAT, is to do it 3 separate times, which makes the first 2 fraudulent retirements. That's the way to do it. The way to do it is to quit the sport multiple times, then come back, then quit again, then come back, then quit again, and then joke about coming back at 45. We all know the blueprint's been laid out on how to properly retire from this league, which is to not actually retire, just to quit and come back a bunch of times, and then have people pretend that anything that happened really post-retirement 2 or during retirement 1 didn't actually count. That's the blueprint. He's going his own way and selling cognac. That's fine with me.
Who is he talking about?
I don't like that my reaction was to recoil there on all of it. That he was playing again with people's feelings 15 years later was a funny reminder, and I do feel like a fool for falling for it again.
Well, I must apologize, Dan. I didn't know, to be honest with you, that one of the people I was calling out was you. I maybe would have softened that. To be
no, I don't.
I
just feel like such a fool, and you're laughing in my face at something. No, but for 15. Well, but for 15 years, this dude was the economy here, and he's played for the Lakers longer than that. The idea that he's still the story in basketball, even on a football Monday and Tuesday, is pretty funny when you look at a career unlike any other, like a career that has no precedent in the sport. The fact that he's still playing and still playing with our feelings as a top 10 player in the league it's asinine that you get to be controversial for supporting that for 20 years.
Well, yeah, and listen, I'll add to a take, and then we can get to the football stuff, I'm sure. I think LeBron could play at an all-star level. Right now, he's at an all-NBA level. I think he could play at an all-star level for close to till he's close to 50. I see no reason. Like, when he quits, it's going to be because that either his family wants him to, or it's just there's nothing left to do. But we were expecting the age curve 10 years ago. And instead what we have gotten is a slight 1 or 2% a year deterioration to where he goes into this year, the 7th best player in the sport? Like, the cliff isn't coming barring a catastrophic injury, and so he'll play as long as he wants to, and he'll probably play with folks' feelings
You
as long as...
you guys can't let him do this.
An all-star at 50.
You guys can't let him do this.
Deserving all-star at 50 years old? Come on.
Well, hold on.
I'll
Hold
buy
on.
50.
Come
I'll buy
on.
45. I'll buy 45.
Hold on. Hold on.
All
Wait
right.
a
I can
second.
buy 45.
Yeah.
50?
Wait a second. Wait a second.
But he didn't age after
When he
30, so
left-
naturally he can
when
play
he-
till 50. Duh.
When he left Miami, okay, that first year in Cleveland, when Dan and others were saying, hey, I mean, we've all heard the audio that the best of LeBron is over.
And he quit.
If
right?
I had come on this show,
Amin
if
said
I had
that.
come on, what? Hold on, you said that.
I don't think he was wrong. LeBron hasn't been
Oh,
as good
okay,
as
I don't
he
know.
was in
2018 Bron was pretty good. 2016 Bron with the greatest 3-game stretch in the history of sport was pretty good.
Shout out to Draymond.
2020 Bron, pretty good. But regardless, if I had come on this show and said 10 years from now, he is going to be top 6 in MVP voting, that would have been more laughable. At age 40 in year 22, gonna be a legitimate MVP candidate. That would have been laughable and ridiculous, but it just happened. No. So my point is because of his IQ, his size, and his body.
Don't let him, guys. Don't let him do this.
There's one guy that can play
Billy.
till 50, and it's Steph Curry because he can just hang out. LeBron, he is so dependent on his athleticism. I understand he's got a brilliant mind, but there's already diminishing returns on there. Like, it's only gonna slow down more.
Why can Steph's younger than LeBron, and LeBron's still better than him?
Well, Chael said that thing, if
yes,
we're gonna be honest.
but Steph can just camp out and just he can shoot till he's 60.
And LeBron could play late stage post the 30 games.
All-star at 50.
I can't
Nick.
believe he sucked me into this.
Nick,
It's asinine. It's asinine.
Nick,
Is it honorary all-star, like commissioner appointed all-star, or all-star based on merit?
No, what I'm saying is that as long as, like, LeBron is 40, right? No, I'm 40. He's 40. He turns 41 in December.
Hold on, let's make sure we get this exactly right.
No, he and
When's your
Tiger
birthday?
Woods have the same birthday. He and
week.
Tiger Woods are both December 30th, not same year. I just turned 41 a couple days ago. Thank you.
Wow, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
I don't see any reason that LeBron in 5 years would not be just a much, much better version of Jason Kidd on the Mavericks. A great passer who can shoot and knock down spot-up threes and just
you made him an all-star. You didn't make him.
Jason Kidd on the Mavericks was
didn't
not
make him
close to an
You
all-star.
didn't make him 11 points a game from three because he can
I
get up
said-
4
I just
threes a
said
game.
much better version. I can't believe
At
this
50,
is what we're talking
but
about.
Nick, at
Yes,
50,
same here, dude.
Jason
Same here.
Kidd
You
on
know
the
what?
Mavericks was an
I'm not getting
all-star.
sucked into this.
Thank you.
Let's-
Hey,
Yeah.
hold on. Who just said that?
He was an all-star.
In
That
what
would be
year?
me.
Thank
Jeremy.
you. Exactly.
For the Dallas
And I
Mavericks.
just said a much better
voted
version.
in.
Exactly. Know your sports, Dan. Instead of reading Twitter and seeing a Raven stat
He
that
was
you then class
36
off as
years
your
old
own.
then.
Look,
He was-
know your stats, buddy.
He was
Give me a
36
break.
then.
14
and
years younger.
Guys, this is, I can't believe we're arguing about this.
Same.
Let's go ahead and argue
So hold on,
about it.
50-year-old LeBron will be 36-year-old Jason Kidd, which is like 93 in 1991.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
What he
you.
said.
All right.
I mean, you
I'll
guys
switch
just be like, I disagree.
I disagree. I
fine.
disagree.
That's fine.
Strongly.
So here is the question, because we're not going to get to see it. So the question I would ask you is this, Mike. Will we ever see LeBron play a season in the NBA at a less than, forget all-star, all-NBA caliber?
I don't know if he'll allow that, but
then I guess we'll never know who's going to be right about the argument.
Yeah, I think we can assume. Yeah.
What? No, how?
History,
if he were to
science.
quit now, he's already shattered all the history. And you're a tennis guy, Mike. Like, the guys are all, Djokovic is shattering all the history.
There's a difference.
All these
50. Okay.
Again,
what was your take on Jonathan Gannon? What was your take on Jonathan Gannon?
I should have credited that Raven stat. I'm ashamed.
You should.
I'm ashamed.
You should. You're covered in a lot of shame today, Dan.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Hey, Nick.
I can't believe we're arguing about LeBron.
Nick, was the '56 Bel Air gifted to your dad a white car?
No, it was like the seafoam green with a white swoosh on it.
Okay.
Where are we on this?
It's a proper color.
Thank you.
Do you have to eat it if your wife gives you a gift that you didn't want to be white for 2 years? Is that what we're arguing?
Why don't you just have it? Why didn't you just, Cody? It sounds like this is back when newspaper salaries were real fat and happy.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just have it painted, bro?
You know what? I didn't think of it. It never occurred to me.
I think that's the answer.
I think that would have
it's just
insulted
have
my
it
wife.
painted.
That would have insulted my
That
wife.
would have been good to ask her when she was on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she didn't have great internet. Jonathan Gannon, you can't punch your players. Like the rule in life is very simple. You're not allowed to. Well, this isn't the only rule, but one of the rules is you can't hit people that can't hit you back. And so that's like I didn't love that. I didn't love him hitting the guy.
Yeah, but what does this mean? Bad optics. I didn't love it. $100,000. What's right here, Nick? Right? Like what?
I think what they did. I mean, I don't think you fire him. And I'm not interested at all in another workplace. It's not another workplace, bro. It's the NFL, and there is a level of violence associated with the game that I understand how it can spill over in those regards on the sidelines. But that was too much. And so, I think $100,000 is a real amount of money. I think the shame of it, and I think that the real punishment is, how do his players respond, and does he have to kind of win them back over? That's, that to me is, I don't know, do you think I'm being too lenient there?
Oh, I just think that locker room dynamics, it's a fascinating case study here to just really dissect in that locker room what's happening when a coach puts his hand on a player and all those players know in that room, hey, Dad, you know how much he cares. We watch him every day. He either cares this amount or he doesn't. But you putting your hands on him in front of everybody when we just saw the most epic collapse in the sports you'll ever see. They play that game 1,000 times, Nick. They play that game 1,000 times. The Titans don't cover 1,000 times. Never mind win the game. They don't cover 1,000 times. He threw away a football game and his coach hit him.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't think you fire the guy. I don't think that I think that here is my, I guess, bigger Jonathan Gannon takeaway. I am less, I shouldn't say less bothered, but if I were a Cardinals fan and not, a member of DeMercado's family or friends, but I root for the Cardinals, I am more long-term concerned about, coach probably in a touch over his head, huh? Anybody that loses their S like that, it usually means the job's a touch too big for them. And
I thought that person 2 weeks ago was the most stoic coach on any sideline.
Really?
Yes, I didn't think he was an emotional. I thought that he was. I've got this wrong.
I mean, defensive guys are usually a little bit more intense. There were videos when he was in Philadelphia of screaming at people in their car. Good energy, not move your freaking car, more let's effing go. But yeah,
to me, I put this in the same bucket, except he wasn't the head coach at the time. and everyone got so mad at me for this take, but as is often the case, it aged perfectly, much like LeBron. Do you remember when the offensive coordinator for the Bills, I think he's a Miami guy, right? Was it Dorsey?
Ken Dorsey,
Ken
Ken
Dorsey.
Dorsey throwing all the papers all over the room, the computer.
When he flipped out, in that moment, I was like, okay, that guy's, the job's too big for him. Like, sorry, job's too big for him. And the Bills kind of took off once they separated from him. Like, the job was too big for him. And I think I don't think those are unfair snap judgments on these things.
Can you guys get me that video, please? Because it's an interesting thing. Someone who cannot control themselves. Ken Dorsey was viewed as a player as a stoic, and then all of a sudden he's your offensive coordinator and he's in charge of Josh Allen, and it's too much?
Yeah, that's what I think. The pressure of the moment. I really, and this gets me in trouble with a lot of, hell, the last time I came on here, the Lamar conversation, and all of a sudden I've got folks like PFF Moo in my mentions being like, actually, here's how football works, buddy. And I'm like, okay, thanks. I'm a big believer in pressure revealing, a lot about high achievers or athletes or people in big time jobs. And I think that there are certain people that are great in the interview, great on the whiteboard, great in all these circumstances. And then as the pressure ratchets up, they can't keep their cool. Like, again, this is going to be corny and Mike will probably make fun of me, but because it's a fictional movie, but the DiCaprio line in The Departed, where he's like, my hand doesn't shake. Like, I believe that. I believe in that. That there are certain people who, I knew Mike was going to make fun of me.
No, I'm not making fun of you. That is a life motto.
My hand
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I quote that all the time.
does not shake.
Yeah, like I'm a big believer in that. So to me, for Gannon, that's the bigger thing. Is because here's the other piece of it. He did not know when the kid fumbled the ball that they were going to then have a cartoonish collapse. He knew that the game could have been over and now they have to keep fighting, but it was not as if they were down 4 as the clock is ticking to 0 and the kid fumbles and now we were going to win, we lose. There was a lot of fighting left to do, and they, that to me precipitated the full-on collapse.
I want to ask you before we go about Kansas City and Jacksonville, but one last note, just to be clear. Ken Dorsey was strong enough to be the guy whose hand doesn't shake. I got the game wrong just yesterday. I said his first game was at Washington, and he wet himself, and he said he was wetting himself running on the field. It wasn't Washington. It was Virginia Tech. But he was playing high-stakes football, and Ken Dorsey is at the center of Miami taking college football back from FSU because his hand didn't shake. Because late in that game, he could throw the ball to Jeremy Shockey, and they could overtake FSU. Where do the levels of pressure this rise that Ken Dorsey's hand doesn't shake enough to win a national championship when he's got Willis McGahee and Clinton Portis and those people behind him and Frank Gore?
Oh, it's that the job changed. I think normally it's I think he maybe was a full-on confident, guy in the role he had there, quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes football team, and then not as confident in the role of offensive coordinator for NFL team with championship aspirations. I think there are plenty of people who, I'm going to mix metaphors here a bit, but can do billion-dollar business negotiations and never blink and feel totally confident. But if they sat down in a poker game for $5,000, would be a nervous wreck, because in one setting they feel in their element, comfortable. It's what they've trained their whole life for, and in another setting they feel over their skis a bit. Now some guys, I assume, are just nervous Nellies. I don't know why I said that. Under all circumstances,
I just thought that video was that game where Josh Allen threw his arm out on 4th and short. He had one more pass. to his running back in the flat, and they ran out of gas in the heat in Miami because Josh Allen just threw his arm out 6 yards at a time.
I think the point that Nick is trying to make is there are plenty of great coordinators that make for bad head coaches. Nick's a fan of a team that has one of those examples on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. Every offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator at one time was considered a great position coach. The way that Ken Dorsey was, he was behind getting Cam Newton to MVP levels and helping get Josh Allen to that next tier. But the job was too big for him when he got to OC.
We said this of Belichick once upon a time, that he was only a coordinator. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, I understand how we can do the revisionist history on Ken Dorsey now because he flipped out in a moment and didn't improve Josh Allen.
There are guys that are good at their jobs that are bad leaders. This happens in every possible workplace in America. There are guys that are great workers that maybe shouldn't be, that aren't necessarily management material.
Yeah, I mean, when Ken Dorsey's at the University of Miami, his hand doesn't shake partly because he has a couple of future NFL running backs behind him. That was a loaded team, including on defense.
It also, that to me, I don't mean to interrupt you, Greg. Yeah. I apologize. It might be that, but it also might be that he felt that, no, I'm that dude. I'm a great quarterback. And maybe some people, maybe you feel more comfortable when it's I'm the one in charge of all the decisions. And you feel a little helpless when it's all I can do is call the play, you have to execute it. I don't know the man, and I don't know, the full story of his evolution as a player and a coach. What I know is, like, my snap judgment of that scene you guys showed was, this job's too big for him right now. Maybe it won't be down the road, but in this moment, the inability to keep your cool, to me, is very instructive. Like, I value that. I really value folks who, in crisis, can be the steady hand, and I think in sports, that is super, super important, and that's the Gannon thing that would, if I were a Cardinal fan, bother me almost as much, if not more, long-term than the fact that he hit the player.
He's got 2 great shows he's doing. The podcast, What's Right with Nick Wright, is not daily, but it is, 3-4 times a week with some emergencies based on the news?
At least 3, and then sometimes we add another one, yeah.
And you should support it because it's fun, and he does it with his son. And a lot of people know that First Things First is hugely popular now and one of the great things in sports television because he's at the center of it. Can you, before you get out of here, give me as many thoughts as you can on just Jacksonville and Kansas City?
Yeah.
Because I think Trevor Lawrence will absolutely blow that game in the playoffs with 4 turnovers, and Jacksonville can't actually turn the ball over at the rate that they're doing. But you got the offense that you think is back, correct?
Okay, so a number of things. Yes, of course, Trevor Lawrence, my guy who I love, and it was kind of sad for me that this moment I couldn't really enjoy, even though I've supported him for 5 years because it came to the expense of my team. And I understand the healthy skepticism of Trevor Lawrence, particularly come postseason. He has not at all earned the benefit of the doubt like the great Justin Herbert, who once upon a time played Trevor Lawrence in a playoff game and blew a 27-point lead. Like, we get it. We understand. Certain guys have earned the benefit of the doubt. Trevor Lawrence isn't one of them. The guy who he beat in a playoff game, of course, is one of them for reasons, I don't know. It's going to be hard to blame the coach this year in Los Angeles, but I'm sure we'll find a way. Now, to the Chiefs. This is where I'm fair. Sometimes, this is so weird because I now find myself a little bit on the other side because a lot of these numbers that I railed against last year when people were like, the Chiefs are the worst 5-0 team ever, and they made me mad. Those now same numbers are like, the Chiefs, one of the best 2-3 teams ever. I still don't like them. Winning football games is a skill, and the Chiefs, while yes, the offense looks awesome again and will only look better with Rice, that didn't really make me feel better because I knew the offense would look awesome because Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback and he has a competent offensive line this year and the receiving core is getting better. Losing that game the way they did is so un-Chiefs-like. It's the first time in 5 years they've lost a game they won the turnover battle. They had a 14-point lead and they blew it. They never do that. The penalties and the special teams errors cost them the game. I hated that loss. That was the most frustrating regular season loss this team has had in, honestly, for me, in at least 3 years. And so, yes, I feel good about the fact that the offense is going to be great. But I always believed the offense could be great. They need to trade for a running back. Again, I mentioned Achane to you guys before. Maybe Breece Hall, maybe Kamara. I don't know if they will. And they have to figure out a way to get pressure without having to send these huge blitzes. With all that said, it is a very unique situation when for years it has been the AFC is the varsity and the NFC is the junior varsity when it comes to quarterbacks you got to go through. This postseason is going to come around, Dan, and Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are going to look around the AFC playoff field and see Bo Nix and 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers and Drake May and Daniel Jones. And in the NFC, it's going to be playoff stud Baker Mayfield, champion Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl starter Jared Goff, conference championship starter Jaden Daniels, whomever else I'm forgetting or leaving out. And so the Chiefs need to win football games. But the offense is going to be good. I think they're going to beat Detroit. They can't shoot themselves in the foot. But that's a bad loss. And I'm not going to make excuses and act like it wasn't. That's a bad loss that they shouldn't have had.
Think I'm going to beat Detroit. Got to go on that note. You think a lot of people think that right now? You think that
They're 2.5-point favorites, Dan. They're at home. They have the best player in the league. Right now, Dano. How about this? Just Chiefs Lions straight up. Set the amount. I can do a little arbitrage with your friends at DraftKings. I'll bet it on the other side plus the 2.5 to look for a little juicy middle.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it right now. Tell me what the stakes are on this. Make the bet right now. Let's do it. Let's team up right here. We're going to tell me how I have to do that so that I can make the stakes something that's worth it to you. I believe that Detroit is going to beat Kansas City.
I have an idea. Host swap.
Yeah. Huh?
That's right. If Dan loses, he's got to join your show for a full recording if you want that.
From your house.
Yeah. Well, maybe from your house. Either one of your two shows. What's right or what you got going on? Speak for yourself. I literally mean speak for yourself because I don't know the name.
First things first. It's called, yeah.
What you got going on? Speak for yourself.
No, I told him
what you just called Nick
Speak
Wright
for yourself was literally a different show on the network.
No,
Then it became Speak.
No, I told you to speak for yourself because I forgot the name of the show.
I thought we were just doing cash money.
I say
But
5K.
we're doing like
Tell me what it should be.
Or you fly down here and you host one of the Dan Le Batard shows with Stugotz.
They're all putting up $5, so 5 grand.
5K.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
$5,000.
I get the Chiefs even. It just went straight winner.
Yes.
Chiefs Lions.
Yes. I'll give you the points.
No,
Dan, you're terrible at
Why
this.
you're such a bad negotiator.
All right. What's going on?
I don't get points. They're the favorites. We're just doing straight winners.
Straight winners, 5K.
Yes.
All right. It's done.
You want to throw in a white Corvette?
Good luck on cold pizza.
Senator Cory Booker is going to join us here later in the show. Brooker, as Chris Cody called him yesterday.
Damn it.
But we let you slide on it. We didn't dine on you for an error of speech.
Dan, may I give you a recommendation?
Uh-oh.
This guy can talk. I've seen clips. Do
Well,
not give him a runway.
Okay, so we've got to make let's do this correctly because he did speak for 25 straight hours filibustering on the floor, and I don't want him to just take over our show and mop us all over the place because we can't shut him up. But his New York sports stink, and I want to make fun of him for that because it's a misery right now. The Yankees and Aaron Judge are saving grace on a miserable New York weekend.
If you think New York is bad now, wait till this mayoral race.
And when the military take over New York, too.
Well, that's in their hands.
Okay, thank you for nothing. Jessica's going to join us in a second, but before we do that, let's do the useless sound montage. I've just been given, it's freshly baked. Billy just ran it in off the presses. Billy, did you handle the editing on this?
Yes.
All right, how we doing?
Sorry it took so long, guys. I blame Eddie.
I am 100% showing up. We thought that we, were prepared for this, and clearly we weren't.
Definitely a lot of things happened.
When you talk about game of inches, it's a game of inches.
We can feel it. We know what it looks like. We know what it feels like, and so now we got to keep getting better. This is what an NFL season's about. You got to keep getting better, and more opportunities will come ahead of us.
Look at it, the stats, the numbers don't lie.
Listen, I'm not throwing any one of these guys out.
The only thing that we can do is go back to work.
Yeah, I think we lost the game today.
Our sense of urgency and our connectedness is always there. It obviously needs to increase because time's ticking.
We believe we're going to be much better than this.
We are a much better team than letting a 17-0 lead eviscerate.
We got to figure this out, and we got to figure this out now. You know, like, this feeling sucks. It's not a good feeling.
We're doing everything we can do to, find solutions, not assign blame.
Honestly, kind of zoned out. I was just trying to drink Gatorade.
There's blood in the water, man. Our guys are starting to feel it, man. They want to be the next guy who gets the punch out of the strip or the interception, and we're hunting. If the ball's in the air, we're going after it.
Our goal this entire week, and it's cliche and coach speak and all that, but it's how you have to work when you're in these situations, is you're just trying to go 1-0.
We were saving that blitz for a rainy day, and we brought it out.
Just guys executing, doing all the little things right.
Hard to win when you turn the ball over 5 times and it was 5 consecutive drives.
It was nice to look around and see everybody dancing and turning up.
We got to capitalize, and when we don't, it's the NFL.
We feel like there's diminishing returns every week. Man, it's just a little...
Never about one play. Never about one phase. All of us collectively have to do a better job.
I think we're already a tight group, but we got to get tighter as a group, and guys got to lock in.
I just thought it was a dogfight, and we were in the ring, and
Can't point anywhere but directly at preparation and how we execute stuff.
Not a winning formula right there. We needed that last drive because the defense was tired, because we were really to start the second half on offense, and that's my fault.
All the 49ers fans here in the stadium and on a road game here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, they are here.
You can outstat them to death, but it doesn't matter. It's the score that matters.
You never know which play is going to make a difference in a game through all 4 quarters.
Oh, much, feels good, man. Feels good to get that first win.
when Kyle talked to me before the game, I was like, it's time to go. So
The mentality has to be, man, more TV time for us on defense.
But we don't necessarily want to do that. We'd like to have 90-yard touchdowns.
But until we do a better job, we're going to keep losing.
See how we can do next week. We'll start all over again.
Once again, the best thing we did, we played complimentary football.
In the end, it was complimentary football that won us the game.
Just not enough complimentary football.
He's just one of them guys. He has the entire makeup and the entire package.
Got to watch the film, and the film will tell the truth.
These guys love playing football together. They believe in one another. We expect to play well. We don't always.
Kyle came up to me and he was pissed about it. So he was pissed about it. I was like, yeah, I'm pissed too. He's like, dude, I can't believe they moved us to underdogs again or whatever more. And I'm like, I don't know what that means really, but yeah, let's go kill them, I get my days messed up because we had a short week, but whatever our Wednesday was.
What a magical batch of useless, Billy.
Mac Jones.
I mean, Mac Jones is a new star with his giggle, his laugh. Mike, why did you whisper to me that you're a big fan of complimentary football?
I love complimentary football so much. It makes sense. Forget all 3 phases. I love all 3 phases too. Yeah. But complimentary football is I know it's a cliche, but you have an offense that complements the defense. You keep the defense fresh. That's how you get Ruben Bain playing 77 snaps. I mean, complimentary football is the best.
I want to talk to Jessica about Miami. I do want to talk about Mike McDaniel saying eviscerates a 17-0 lead. That must bother Greg Cody as someone who just values words, right? Your coach has to get the words right in the press conference.
I think so, yeah. Eviscerate to me sounds like you're disemboweling something.
But evaporate is what he meant, right?
I think so.
Did it bother you or no? He can't make a mistake like that. He can't make these little mistakes anymore, right? We're not finding him cute anymore.
Well, he's not cute, and he's stammering. He's stumbling. His presentation has not been good. I don't know what's going on, but I think he's really feeling the weight right now.
All right, let's get to Jess here. Mike, before we get started here, you had very strong Arch Manning opinions before the show.
Yeah, I actually want to run this by Jess. So, Jess, I'm buying all the Arch Manning stock. I heard a stat that against Florida and Ohio State, he's been pressured on about 38 of 75 dropbacks, and I know that he missed some throws primarily because of the pressure that Florida's amazing defensive line applied, but he also made incredible throws. He evaded pressure in ways that certainly do not match that surname, and I think we've come out on the other side here that maybe he's a little underrated at the moment, and because of all the fanfare and hoopla that he got with the Heisman hype at the start of the season, people are incorrectly placing the blame on his shoulders. It's that offensive line. It's the fact that they're the Texas Longhorns with unlimited resources, and they're not top 50 in the nation in rushing. This goes well beyond Arch Manning. He's probably the least of their issues.
Well, I do think if he were really great, he would probably look
better than he's looked. But yes, I agree with your point. He's not the only problem with Texas's offense. I think the things you pointed out are definitely true, Mike. But the problem is that he hasn't even looked amazing against like the bad defenses they've played. This was the test, right? The Florida defense was ranked, I think, top 25 before the season started in like defensive FEI. And so after the Ohio State game, I was like, okay, well, let's see how he does in these next 3 games, because they're playing some truly like bottom tier defenses. And like the offense still wasn't good, and he still wasn't amazing. He wasn't showing this kind of thing you would expect from someone who is as old as he is now. I think like one thing, Mike, that no one's really wants to admit is that he's not a freshman. He's not even a redshirt freshman. Like he played a couple games last year. He's been around the program long enough that like you kind of do expect better. And I agree, like the expectations were absurd, and that comes with the territory of the last name. But he's still like, even if you take the expectations away, just being a quarterback at Texas, it's not good enough. Like he's not playing well enough right now.
Greg, you had some Belichick opinions. The Hulu series got canceled. I guess this isn't surprising, right? Both documentary projects that Belichick was going to do have collapsed for different reasons. I think one can assume reasonably that the team is so bad that they wouldn't want any of this publicized. Get inside this, it would require disinfectant. That's how everyone's receiving this, I would imagine. No?
Yeah, I think so. But Belichick involves himself so much in pettiness, and I don't want to blame his girlfriend, her influence, but the latest example is The latest example is Belichick did not want UNC to air a video in praise of alum Drake May because he's doing so well with the Patriots. Belichick did not want that, and that just strikes me. He's got so much on his plate right now, including a really bad team. Why are you involving yourself in ancillary stuff like that because you still have a feud with Robert Kraft? It seems ridiculous.
Well, it's not even the only time that his Patriots feud has appeared this season, Greg. He confirmed earlier this year that Patriot scouts weren't allowed at North Carolina because he's not allowed in Foxborough. So the pettiness, I mean, it runs very deep. And Dan, the thing about the Hulu docuseries, from what I'm guessing is that the Hard Knocks series was scrapped because Hulu, this production company, came in and was like, we'll give you more money or whatever it was. So there must have been some sort of like bidding war. I'm purely speculating.
Well,
here.
hold on a second. Let me wait.
Won.
Hold on.
It's not important enough
Time
to play
to
the
throw
sounder,
away all
truly.
journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation.
You're good. Who's kicking dogs?
What does that mean?
Jonathan Gannon in the previous. I recklessly
KD.
speculated. Big dog kicker energy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't know. I'm assuming, Dan, that the HBO thing didn't get scrapped for reasons other than like a lot of companies probably wanted to film this historic UNC season. The problem is it's historic for all the wrong reasons. That article that came out in WRAL on Tuesday, I believe, was very insightful, very interesting. There was a lot of takeaways from that. Belichick apparently having preferential treatment towards players that he brought into the team, poor communication, dysfunctional environment, a lot of criticism of the staff that they put together and the lack of experience, and also, the fact that there's several sons of Lombardi and Belichick on the staff.
Work hard.
The banning of the Patriot scouts. They also said that like Michael Lombardi, this is from the article, that no one likes him and that he's rude and nasty, which was pretty strong words, I thought. That the travel roster is not allowed to dress for home games, which kind of bucks tradition. And then there was more fallout after the fact. The cornerbacks coach, Armand Hawkins, was suspended because of something that came up in the report involving like sideline passes for family members of teammates. So, I mean, just a huge disaster. And honestly, before the season, I thought this could go two ways. This could be like a competent football team with a relatively easy ACC schedule surprises people, or it could be a disaster. It has been such a disaster.
Like worse than
holy cow.
worse than anyone could have imagined, right? You're reading. Why is that story not getting more attention? Obviously, the details here are fairly vigorously reported, and we're getting a look inside. They were going to do a docuseries on what they thought was going to be a success. Instead, now they refuse to televise the public shaming of a legend, unlike any we've ever seen in football before. So they're not going to get to rewrite the story, are they? Like, they've befouled this program, and they thought with their champion patriot arrogance that him and Lombardi would know better than these other people, and no, they don't.
Here's another quote, Dan, that came from Bruce Feldman and Ralph Russo in The Athletic. This is from a story that came out before the Clemson game this past weekend, I believe. It says, quote, "What I think they miscalculated is the way they were taking players in the portal and paying dudes," said one Group of 5 head coach, granted anonymity, to discuss his encounters with the Tar Heels in the offseason player acquisition cycle. Quote, "It made me wonder, did they actually understand the landscape they were in? Did they understand that they're in the ACC, not like Conference USA or the Sun Belt? Like, we got beat by North Carolina on a bunch of kids. I was like, why the F is North Carolina beating us on kids? When I keep running up against the same P4s over and over again in recruiting, I'm like, all right, they're going to suck." That's a crazy quote from The Athletic.
That story's crazy, but I guess the insides, I mean, people aren't going to be, their season's over. Is the experiment over? Like, are we going to...
I mean, the experiment was over when Charlie Weiss got fired from Notre Dame. Like, that was when we realized, okay, like, NFL coach comes in, thinks he can, like, recruit, which Charlie Weiss, to his credit, actually very good recruiter, but wasn't a good... couldn't run a college football program, clearly. Got paid $1 jillion on his buyout and left. And then we did it again with the same NFL franchise, the Patriots. We just did it with a different Patriots coach.
Check out her weekly Notre Dame podcast, The Echoes with Mike Golick Jr. Unfortunately, the Fighting Irish are going to be good again, and they're going to...
I mean, we'll see. I did make a grave error this weekend in my off-roading trip with Lucy. You guys all know what Lucy's favorite movie is, right?
Yeah, totally. But for those that don't know...
I don't remember. I should know this. We should know
Which one was
this.
Lucy?
We should.
She talks about it all the time. Her favorite movie.
Almost Famous, right?
I don't remember.
Oh my God. Okay, it's Shrek. It's Shrek.
Yeah.
And what I failed to mention to Lucy while we were at Notre Dame is that a bunch of Notre Dame people worked on the film Shrek, and there's a bunch of Notre Dame Easter eggs in Shrek, and she would have really enjoyed that, I think. And I forgot to tell her that, and I didn't think about it until this morning somehow. And I just feel like the world's biggest for not remembering that Shrek Notre Dame connection with Lucy.
You had fun. It seemed like you were really, it seemed like you were enjoying, Lucy hadn't been before, right? So she wouldn't actually understand how ridiculous the majesty of that place is when you've bought in on all of the Catholicism.
Yes, whatever that means, she definitely wouldn't understand that. No, we had a great time, Dan. My only complaint, it was like the hottest October football game in South Bend on record, which kind of alarming. It was really, really, really hot. But we had a good time. I don't know. I think Notre Dame's defense is playing a lot better, but I do think NC State's got a fun offense. They play them on Saturday, kind of an awkward look-ahead spot, and then they play USC the following weekend. USC, obviously, statistically the best offense currently in college football in EPA per play. So big test for the defense coming up for the Irish.
I don't even know my own favorite movie.
Yeah, I'm trying
Yes,
to
you
think.
do.
I'm trying to think if I know anybody's favorite
Is this
movie.
supposed to like cover for the fact that you don't know Lucy's
I'm embarrassed.
I don't know. No one knows Lucy's, but I don't know
She
anybody's.
just quizzed us on friendship, and we all failed.
Yeah, but I
really thought it was almost.
What's
I
Dan's
answer
favorite?
this. I've never heard her mention Shrek.
Greg's
I
is
don't-
Oh my God! You've never heard her mention Shrek?
No, you haven't. You clearly
have
have
you
a very
ever
different
spoken
relationship.
to Lucy?
What an
I don't
odd
know.
favorite movie. Shrek.
Greg.
Odd
Don't go
favorite
there.
movie.
What's yours?
The cartoon.
Who's your October Heisman?
I got 3 people on the watch list currently, Mike. Number 1, Ahmad Hardy, Missouri running back.
Great back.
He leads college football in rushing right now, and he's playing against another nominee, Ty Simpson, who had a great game against Vanderbilt, threw an interception, but he had 340 yards on 74% completion for 2 touchdowns. So they're playing against each other this weekend. That's going to be a big SEC road game for Alabama going to Missouri. Going to have to deal with that run game, but also I think if Alabama can get out to an early lead, I think that's the recipe right there. Like, I think it's going to be hard for Missouri to come back in that case. And then Bear Bachmeier, the BYU quarterback, has also had a sneaky good fall so far, and also had a great game Friday night against West Virginia. 350 yards, 72% completions, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. BYU is like currently in first place in the Big 12. They've only played 2 conference games so far. Texas Tech also undefeated right now, lead the nation in stop rate on defense, which is huge. There's a lot of crazy
Everything
stuff
okay?
going on. Yeah, Chris, I live in New
BYU
York. You're gonna hear sirens. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes.
You can't
Well,
say
not for
something
long.
every
You're gonna
time.
hear tanks rolling through town.
We record.
In your
but
hands.
anyways, I want to talk about 2 Big Ten games this weekend, Mike. Indiana at Oregon.
Oh, put the kids to bed.
Huge game. I think it's an early kickoff. Isn't it 3:30?
Yeah, well, they should be in bed at 3:30.
Actually, it might be at 7:30. And then Michigan at USC, which is the kind of perfect test for Lincoln Riley. People wrote off USC after the Illinois loss. I get it. It was a really ugly loss for USC. But I do think if they can exercise some demons if they're able to beat Michigan this weekend, because this is typically a game that they struggle with, and Michigan's got a good run game. But it's a road game for Michigan, and of course, long travel. We saw how that worked out for Penn State last weekend, so I'm going to keep my eye on those two for sure.
What's your favorite movie, Greg? I don't know you. I've been friends with you for years. I don't know what your favorite movie
everybody
is.
knows that.
Is it Absence of Malice?
No, the Wizard of Oz, baby.
Oh, come on.
Everyone knows
Wizard
that?
of Oz.
Everyone knows that?
Yeah.
Like the original?
Yeah, of course, the original.
That's your favorite movie?
Yeah, hell yes. You ever watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
That was an historic movie that went from black and white to color in the middle of the movie. Technicolor revealed itself to the
Alive
world.
Back in My Day. Give him his Back in My Day music.
No,
We're going to get Alive Back in My Day.
Seriously. I mean,
It's just...
the Wizard of Oz.
Sure. You guys know my favorite movie?
Judy Garland. I mean,
Rudy?
Shrek, yeah,
You told
Shrek,
us.
right?
You just told us.
God, you guys are so, you're just bad coworkers.
Thanks,
you're bad
Iowa.
friends. You're
What's
bad
my favorite
coworkers.
movie? What's my favorite movie, Jess?
What, that stupid Point Break one?
No,
With the heist?
no, that's top 3,
Speed?
but it's not number 1. No, that's top 10, but that's not number 1.
Okay, well, I named 2 of your top 10. That's better than you could do for me.
I said Rudy. That's got to be in your top 10.
Dark Knight Rises?
What is yours, Jess? What is your favorite movie?
The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and also Caddyshack and Lady Bird. I would have taken any of those.
Can't
three.
have a
I
tie.
should've known
Can't
you
have a
were
tie.
It's not a
Gotta pick
tie.
one.
I'm saying I would have given you some grace. Anyways, Dan already left, so this segment's over. Bye, guys.
He's the former mayor of Newark from 2006 to 2013. He's now the senior senator from New Jersey, Cory Booker, with us. He's coming from a vote. There was a vote, and he's rushing in from a vote, and his sports teams stink, all of them, up and down. and the Yankees saved you from terrible shame today, right? You weren't going to come out in public given what your sports teams did this weekend.
I grew up in the golden era to be a Jersey boy, Northern Jersey boy with the Yankees. These were the days of Thurman Munson, Chris Chambliss with Reggie Jackson, Greg Nettles, and then the Giants. You're talking. I don't know why you didn't announce this in my bio, but you're talking to the 1986 Giants high school football player of the year. So the Giants beat the Denver Broncos. Then so I grew up in the heyday of New York sports, and now I'm in a constant state of depression. And to make matters worse, my Stanford Stanford football team, now in the ACC, which is ridiculous. They too are getting their having a difficult rebuilding year, let's say.
Oh, say it stronger than that. Now, these are not polite times.
Come on, man. Come on.
In 1990, you were at the center of upsetting #1 Notre Dame. You were the tight end on that. You were the tight end on that team. You had 4 catches for 40-something yards.
First of all, don't you? How could you slander me like that? The older I get, the better I was. Every 5 years, I add a catch. So you got to you got to stack a few more on there, man. Come on, I'm an old man now. Let me have some glory days.
Well, so answer me this actually in physical terms: which hurts the body more, those 4 catches in that game, or 25-hour filibuster where you feel like you're fighting on behalf of democracy and you're just stalling?
Dear God, the average middle-aged man gets up 5 times in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I didn't go to the bathroom for 25 hours. That was so much harder than anything I did on the Stanford football field. So yeah, it was much more of a test for me, out of shape in my middle-age years.
Billy, why are you making faces? You don't believe the senator?
I mean, Cory, if you're getting up 5 times a night, I feel like you got to see a doctor. That seems like a lot.
Okay, a little exaggeration, but the truth of the matter is, my Aura ring said I walked 2,000 steps, just sort of swaying back and forth. my body was pretty sore. But everybody on this show, and frankly, your listeners know that I may have stood 25 hours on the Senate floor, but a lot of Americans are out there standing for 3 shifts in a row. There are firefighters dropped into blazes that stand for 18, 20 hours facing the infernos of hell. America stands up, and for the fight that I was standing up for that.
Billy, why did you say here we go?
Why you happy with yourself? Way to speak truth to power.
Well, listen,
that's how
guys,
we're going to hold the politicians accountable.
Guys,
like you don't go to the bathroom 5 times.
If we're going to be honest here, you guys are tiptoeing around the senator here. You guys may be afraid to ask him the hard-hitting questions. I mean, he has been in power in one of the more obviously infamous epidemics in our time, and I'm kind of wondering, what are you going to do about the turf at MetLife?
I'm going to sound like the old man that used to play. You know what the turf was like when I was playing? I still remember going up to Oregon State to play them, and it was like they just painted the concrete green. And forget when I was hit. When I was tackled, the hit didn't hurt. Hitting the ground hurt. I mean, your joints were aching afterwards. So I understand this modern turf. When I get out on it, it is far different than what we were playing back in the days that I wanted to take the inventor of AstroTurf and slam him on his AstroTurf. But the reality is our turf seems very unlucky at MetLife. I'm sorry. But now we got Saquon coming back to the turf that took him down, and I'm hoping that Thursday night, we got 2 shots at the Eagles, and I believe in miracles. I'm a prisoner of hope.
Okay, well then help us during these times, because we've softened you up sufficiently with the silly question. Who's the leader of the Democratic Party?
There is no singular leader of the Democratic Party, and frankly, as I said during that 25 hours, I think the Democratic Party has to take a lot of responsibility right now for paving the road to the distraught present we're in right now. Democratic Party has failed, not just in elections, but in communicating to voters. My grandfather, who was a UAW worker, worked on assembly lines during World War II, was born a Republican, as most blacks were at that time. But he switched over to the Democratic Party because he knew that they were fighting for people, from farmers to union workers, for people's health care, to their labor rights. He knew that the Democratic Party may not always agree with them. They were fighting for them. And right now, Americans don't believe either party is fighting for them. To be honest with you, we had 2 presidential candidates in the last election that most Americans voted against. Donald Trump got 49.7%. Kamala Harris got 49.3%. The Democratic Party needs a reboot and needs to put forward a vision, not about what they're against, but we need to start talking about what we're for. We're for workers. We're for families that are struggling to raise their kids right now. And we're for, frankly, an American dream that is under its worst assault, where 60% of Americans just don't believe that they can make it through an economic emergency, hitting $500 to their budget. We need a Democratic Party that can redeem the dream for America and be about Americans. And this place that I'm in right now, from politicians who trade stocks, which is so corrupt in my opinion, to the corporate money that flows down here. That's why I'm one of the few senators that doesn't take corporate PACs. There's a lot of things here that are eroding Americans' trust, and both parties are losing it and need to earn it again.
Most embarrassing New York team this weekend?
This past weekend?
Yes. Your
Yankees, I thought you were saying coming up.
Your Yankees,
I'm telling you right now.
Your Yankees allowed 23 runs. They 20 unanswered in a series. And your Jets exist.
Yeah, I'm not. I respect the Jets, but I'm not a Jet fan. And what happened with the Giants game was the turnovers. Everything was just painful.
Billy, ask him the tough follow-up.
What on earth have the Jets done to earn your respect?
Why do you respect the Jets?
Why would you respect them? Come on, you're not
the
mayor of Newark anymore. It's fine. Just say exactly what it. Jets suck. The players are soft. Exactly.
You know why I respect the Jets? Because I live in an area with a lot of Jet fans who are not fair weather fans.
That's the
pile on.
Pandering.
They are JETS Jets. I hear it all the time.
I'm give you a freaking break.
Listen, there's no hope and change in the JETS Jets. I'll tell you that right now.
You cannot respect the Jets. You're lying to our faces, Senator.
Listen,
you can't be trusted.
Oh, screw you guys. I live in New Jersey. Both of those teams, the Jets and the Giants, are Jersey teams. They're my mishbucha. They're my family. I stand with my people. And you could diss them all you want. Look, I was the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, the most disrespected city. People always talk down to us. We had a chip on our shoulder. We had something to prove. Same way with Jersey. I mean, the freaking New Yorkers take all of our shine. They're trying to. I'll give you an example. The great song that they sang, New York, New York. That was the chairman of the board, Old Blue Eyes. He's a Jersey boy. He was born in Hoboken.
Newark before.
It was, Newark. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And I'm going to tell you right now, Jersey is the place. Our patron saints like Bon Jovi and Bruce,
Yes.
America loves them.
You
So
don't respect them, Senator. You're out here disrespecting me in my face. You're lying to my face as an American power broker, telling me you respect the Jets. You cannot. They're 0-5, 13 missed tackles in the first half. And the team that lost the Dolphins down here, that's one of the worst football games I've ever seen played by something that's allegedly professional. You're a con artist.
So when your friend has a crappy time, makes mistakes, screws up, you give up on, you lose respect.
The last three coaches are 0-3. It's not my friend. The friends aren't the problem. It's the team, Senator. You're lying to us.
I'm sorry, brother. They bring literally millions of dollars of economic activity to the state of New Jersey. I'm not going to disrespect the teams that play in my state, that fight for my state, from the Devils to the Giants. We are that region's, the greater Newark metropolitan area. We are that region's powerhouse. I respect my teams. And you know what I don't respect is the Nets.
They
The
love
Nets.
it. Yeah. But on the record,
Nets need to come
pro
back
Devils.
to Jersey.
Just
The Nets need to
other
come
one
back
way.
to Jersey. They snuck in while I was mayor. They snuck in and stole my team and took it into obscurity in over in New York. They need to come back to Jersey and be Jersey's team. They'll do a lot better. They'll perform a lot better being home.
I'm told you have a top 5 list for us. This delights me. Thank you for honoring us by putting together a list during these busy, difficult times.
Well, I want to throw a couple curveballs your way. So my top 5 is the top 5 successful quarterbacks from Stanford University. And the first one,
Hold on. But you got to play it right. We've got Andrew
just
Luck.
talking about this earlier, too.
We've got Andrew Luck here with us, but the top 5 has to go from 5th to number 1 so that we get the big payoff at the end.
I'm going to 5th to number 1. So number 5, quarterbacks from Stanford, is a guy that played for Tampa Bay. His name is John Lynch. He came to Stanford as a quarterback. I caught passes from him before he was switched to defensive back to be the superstar he is. And then the next, number 1 draft pick way back in the 1950s when you just were a sparkle in your mama's eye, was a guy named John Brody, extraordinary professional.
Oh, yeah. 49ers.
Number 3, Heisman Trophy, Lombardi Trophy winner. This is one of the greatest of all-time greats, Jim Plunkett. The next
These
one.
are two. These are the 2 big ones right here.
Yeah, the
here
big
it
two.
is.
The big 2. The number 2 is a person that you might have thought was number 1, but number 2 is John Elway.
Oh my God, blasphemous senator. This blasphemous senator is going to say that you, Andrew Luck, are the greatest Stanford quarterback he's ever seen.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to make my case here. I said most successful. Not in the NFL. He was one of the top, easily, unequivocally, unassailably. Andrew Luck was one of the top quarterbacks of all time in his playing days. But what Andrew Luck has just done is he brought Luck back to Stanford. He is the guy. He is the guy that comes back home. He could have done a lot of things, but he came back home to serve the greatest university on the planet. And with him, Stanford's going to get Luck again, and we got winning days ahead of us.
Beautiful list, Senator. And by the way, congratulations on your betrothal. I'm so happy. Make a beautiful, beautiful couple. You are my favorite Stanford tight end. Probably favorite tight end ever outside of Jack Doyle.
Thank you. Well, there were 2 tight ends that got engaged in that summer season. The other guy, you probably didn't heard about it, Travis, but another tight end who, in his own mind, has similar tight end glory. So I appreciate that.
Beautiful ring, family heirloom.
You know what's? This is probably too much information. My fiance is going to kill me. The ring I got her was a sort of a place saver because I don't know anything about jewelry. So I said, let me get you a beautiful ring that I like as a placeholder. We are right now shopping for the actual permanent engagement ring.
I notice in your reflection, you have quite the library, including one of those ladders that Belle had in Beauty and the Beast. Have you ever just tried to do the Belle move and just go from one end to another with your arms extended?
I could neither confirm or deny that.
Can you do that for us? now,
Everyone
Senator?
does that when they have the Belle ladder from
wanna
Beauty
see
and the
him-
Beast.
I
I
would
am
love to
telling
see
you, it's
that
one
in
of the-
his Zoom.
It's one of my favorite features in this office is my ladder. So yes, I have done things on that ladder that I do not want to make public.
Hell yeah.
Look at that. Can you give us more seriously your thoughts on the alarms of the day when I say that Trump yesterday is commenting that he's essentially backing a White House memo that some furloughed federal employees aren't entitled to back pay? Like where does that rank on the alarms of the day, and what vote are you coming back from right now?
So two things. One is that's illegal. He signed a bill that basically made it the law that government workers, it's the Government Worker Protection Act, I think is the name of it, is a government workers, my staff is just yelling at me. It's the Government Workers Fair Treatment Act, they're saying. But the reality is it's the law. You have to give back pay. So Donald Trump, I've never seen a guy that literally is telling us he wants to inflict maximum pain in this shutdown, not on Democrats, on American people. He is coming after departments. He's going to try to make as much pain happen to others in hopes that he can make us capitulate. But the pain that we're fighting to prevent is the twin tsunami of the healthcare crisis he's bringing about. Because one, by giving millionaires billions of dollars worth of tax cuts, he gutted Medicaid, so millions are going to lose healthcare there. And then two, as he said in Project 2025, he wants to gut the Affordable Care Act. So he's taking away the premium assistance, and that's going to extend another 10 to 20 million people off their health care. And overall, Americans in general are going to see their premiums skyrocket at a time that they're seeing their grocery prices, energy prices. So that tsunami is coming. It starts in 2006 in a couple months. And Democrats are just saying, do not hurt people like this, because it's not going to just hurt the people who are losing their health care. It's not just going to hurt the millions of Americans who are going to have their premiums go up. About 20 million Americans see them more than double. It's going to hurt all of us, because our healthcare institutions, our hospitals and clinics are going to see closures, going to see longer wait times, more crowded emergency rooms. This is the worst tsunami coming towards Americans' healthcare ever. There's never been a point in American history where if we don't do something, this many millions of Americans will lose their healthcare. So I'm sorry. This is where I get really angry, because I just talked to a New Jerseyan yesterday. She's a mom who had a great job making six figures, but she had an autistic child that needed really expensive care. So she left her job, is doing some consulting, making about $30,000 a year to take care of her special needs child. And she told me there's just no way, when these premiums skyrocket, that she could afford health insurance and still pay rent. Well, repeat that story tens of thousands of more times. Up and down my state, I'm hearing them. And so this is a fight for New Jersey. And here's the crazy thing. Donald Trump controls the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives, who right now are on vacation. The Speaker of the House hasn't even brought them back to sit at the table to negotiate. He said himself years ago that it is the president's responsibility to bring parties together to get a budget passed. But he doesn't want to negotiate. He doesn't want to do something in a bipartisan way that addresses people's pain. He right now is just doing nothing but threatening Americans, threatening to cause pain, threatening not to pay government workers who are in our military or who are work in our veterans agencies. This is ridiculous. If there's anything that our leaders should do, screw the politics, just try to help people deal with the pain that they're experiencing in their lives.
That's illegal is a response that we often hear from Democrats, and yet the president keeps pushing on. In fact, very recently, he just called for the arrest of the governor of Illinois and Chicago's mayor. And it's a scary time. Most Americans would acknowledge, if you look at polling, that there is an abuse of power going on here. What guarantees can you give to the American people that the American Republic will stand, that you can push back on some of these illegalities, as people from the White House are talking about plenary power?
Yeah, so this isn't the first time in our history that demagogues and wannabe dictators have risen up. I mean, dear God, go back to the McCarthy era, go back to George Wallace from that high office of the governor's mansion, saying he was going to not obey the law. We are a nation that has seen dark moments and dangerous demagogues rise up. And the thing that has pulled them back every single time is Americans saying enough is enough. I'm not going to allow this to happen. It is a violation of our decency, of our valued, of our shared ideals. I'm sorry. What is going on in our country is outrageous and should outrage everyone, making law firms and businesses and TV networks heel to the president's will, making Americans who enjoy due process rights have them stripped away, treating families, American children with one undocumented parent, having that parent dragged out of a school or a courthouse who's done nothing wrong but be here in an undocumented manner. And yeah, the polls are going down. Donald Trump is underwater on his immigration enforcement, underwater on his handling of the economy because he is craven, cruel, and corrupt. But this is not about him. When things like this are happening, it's a test of us. How much will we tolerate? How much will we endure? The very idea of patriotism is not just love of country. You can't love your country unless you love your fellow countrymen and women. And love means sacrifice. And so, yeah, you may not be losing your health insurance, but your neighbor is. You may not be seeing your parent be dragged away and your American child being put in zip ties like they were doing in Chicago, but that's your neighbor. Every one of our faiths says love your neighbor. Well, how deep is your love? How strong is your love? What are you willing to do? This is a time to stand up and say enough is enough. And in his first term, where he wasn't doing things this extreme, but he was still trying to gut the healthcare of tens of millions of Americans, Washington, D.C. was full of folk who understood it's not just Congress people and senators that have to stand up. I do too. Little kids in wheelchairs with disabilities were rolling up to senators in nonviolent ways, making them look them in the eye and say, why are you doing this to Americans? And thank God, John McCain and other Republicans like Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski didn't let Donald Trump take away health care from 20 plus million Americans. Well, this crop of Republicans did. They let him attack Medicaid like that. But now, what's the response of us? This is an American test. Will you stand up for your neighbor? Will you stand up for our shared values? Will you stand up as he's arresting his enemies and weaponizing the Justice Department, violating our values? Will you stand? Well, I will stand up, and I'm hoping more and more people will stand with me and fight.
You don't respect the Jets, I don't believe you. Thank you. We appreciate your time. Thank you for the work that you do, sir.
I appreciate you all. Thank you. Hey, can I just say this? I told you that my parents come from the civil rights tradition. Well, sports was the one area that brought this country together. And even folks, and I've talked to Bill Bradley about this, when it forces you. In my Stanford locker room, I had black folk, white folks, I had Republicans and Democrats. But when you sweat together and bleed together, you realize that the lines that divide us are nowhere near as strong as the ties that bind us. We are one team in this country. And the division and the divide, I used to know when we were going to score a touchdown when I was in the offensive huddles. When I heard the defensive huddle attacking each other, putting players down, jumping on each other. When they started fighting amongst themselves, I knew we would score. We need folks that are going to remind us that we're one team. Sports is a venue that everybody listens. More people listen to a podcast like this than a political podcast. And I appreciate you guys.
That's the way it should
creating
be.
a platform where we can talk about our country, and you reminding us that even though some of us respect the Jets, we're still one country.
You don't respect the Jets. You're lying to my people. Thank you. I appreciate your time, Senator.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Before we get to Juju, let's do the boldest take of the week. It's the Boost Mobile boldest take, and it's presented by Boost Mobile, the newest 5G network in the country.
Anyone who opens a Monday work call with Happy Monday should be immediately fired.
No kid has ever said the word, when I grow up, I want to be Chris Sims.
The biggest fire machine is a combine harvester.
Has anyone noticed that Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell looks like Billy Gill if he had 50% more testosterone?
I think we've graduated past the need for regular stuffed Oreos. I think we're looking at double stuffed Oreos or mega stuff from here on out.
We only need like 5 types of pasta. All of the other stuff is just showing off and doesn't make any difference.
It's Ron McGill, the animal man. He's not a doctor, but he has a plan. His endowment is large, yet he doesn't commit fraud. It's Ron McGill, and now he's on.
One beer is always one beer.
More than any other food, McDonald's will make your first fart taste like your last bite.
Love the show, but I think I hate you guys.
Can someone please ask Ron McGill if insects get stoned when you blow weed smoke at them?
Good question.
Yeah, that one's up there.
I've always thought so. I used to do it to my dog.
What?
The first fart smells like the last bite.
You admitted that.
The first fart smells like the last bite. Tastes like the last bite.
Chris Sims one felt harsh.
Woo! That was mean.
That was a hard truth.
That was cruel. Billy, why did it delight you so much?
Yeah, because he sucks.
305-486-GOTS. 305-486-4689 is the number if you want to do the boost. What are you laughing about, Chris?
No kid has ever said the word, when I grow up, I want to be Chris Sims.
Damn.
Brutal.
It's cruel and true, but he and Kyle Shanahan are the ones who got their tattoos of each other in their initials in college, correct?
Yes.
And so
Plenty of people say they want to be Kyle Shanahan when they grow up, no doubt. Not Chris Sims.
But nobody likes Chris Sims.
No one wants to be Chris Sims
no one likes him.
when they're dream mapping.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you laughing about, Greg?
Well, the idea that somebody in America right now is saying, I want to be Chris Sims. It's nothing against Chris Sims.
He's got a great media career.
But why do you pick him, though? I mean, I think you pick the guy who used to be a great quarterback and also has a great
Well, no,
media
but I mean,
career.
didn't he almost didn't someone tear out his spleen during one of his 7 starts?
No. He had a spleen injury, but it wasn't torn out physically by someone else.
I guess a doctor tore it out afterwards.
I'd remember that.
I thought somebody did it like one of those cartoon fish that you just see with skeletons. Somebody threw. I don't know. I felt like somebody. How many games did he start? I don't want to disparage Chris
Not
Sims
many.
here.
It's too late. That guy already did.
Yeah, he's no Phil.
Truth teller. What's up, Juju?
What up, y'all? One beer is always one beer as well. Salute.
It's a
Not
good
in my
take.
house.
Got lost there.
Greg Cody has some hygiene issues, and I should say that before this segment started, he was still muttering under his breath, "A white car."
Well,
Why would she get me a white car? Did she think I was going to need a white suit to get to the disco? Like, he's still complaining about it during the break.
Yeah, I'm going to hear about that later. I'll tell you what. I'm regretting all of this white car stuff, but the truth is the truth, right, Juju? I mean,
Yeah, it is.
The white car.
The truth is the truth.
The truth is the truth, but where does Juju land on the Erlene? Erlene should feel disrespected. A gift white Corvette, and he didn't like the color, didn't tell her until 30 years later.
Right.
Right. And that should definitely be your bet with Nick Wright. Like 5,000, 5,000. Whoever wins that bet, the other person gets a white Corvette.
There
Brilliant.
you go. There you go.
That's a better bet, is it not?
I think 5,000.
More expensive.
You know, that's
Yes.
pretty-
Yeah, used.
I got to figure out how to do this. I got to figure out how to make the bet sponsored somehow by Corvette. Help me figure that out, would you all? Thank you.
Okay.
I
I'm on it.
appreciate it. Yeah, everybody just get on that immediately.
Until Sunday.
Everyone, no, but not until I need it sponsored before that so that we can actually monetize this because I want it to be a big bet. It can be a white Corvette bet.
Sure.
But what do you think's going to happen when you get home? Because your argument, you were mad, and I don't think that Juju. This isn't even the topic that Juju would be interested in. I would think that Juju would be very interested in your general lack of hygiene.
There we are.
Well, on the white car matter, it will be a one-way conversation that begins with her saying the phrase, "I can't believe." That's the way it will begin, and it'll go downhill from there for me.
Juju, do you have a ruling on him coming in without showering?
Neri Sands, friends of the show, says you have to shower after going out the night before. And I agree with Neri, bruh. Like, you done walk through probably like 13 sneezes that you didn't see, a couple coughs, you just walk right through it like cologne. And at least your elbows, you got to at least wash the elbows before you put those same elbows that were on the table in the locker room on your bed sheets. Oh, man.
All right. As Nana Doogie said, you got to eat a peck of dirt before you die. I'm in an air-conditioned building all night. I'm not on the ice playing hockey and sweating. I had taken a shower just before I went to the game. It's still less than 24 hours, and I'll take another shower this evening. Probably. You know?
That kind of thing.
That kind of thing. I mean, I spit the truth.
Yes.
Not everybody admits that sometimes they go 2 days in a row without showering.
Two full
I
days.
admit it.
2 days.
Sometimes.
Where'd this second day come from?
Sometimes. That's why God invented deodorant, my friend.
No, that's not why.
No.
I'm just saying.
I'm on Carfax, and I found a used 1993 Chevy Corvette base in Springfield, Illinois, for $3,995.
That is such an inconvenient gift.
That should be the best.
That is such a congratulations.
I love it.
Figure out how to get me and Nick to bet a used white Corvette on Lions Chiefs. Make it the most.
Just got to park that thing in New York. Congratulations.
If you're buying a $3,000 Corvette, it's sitting on cinder blocks.
Let's figure out how to do it. Let's do that. Juju, you're getting back to your live stream tonight. I've missed it. You, Trista, are inviting Roz on, so now the three of you really are going to break this down tonight and cover the WNBA a hell of a lot better than this show has. I talked about a wheel play for 9 minutes today.
Yes, sir. I can't wait, man. We're going live tonight after the WNBA Finals game to give you a quick response and some good just banter. Come in, everybody. If you don't know the WNBA, if you do know the WNBA, everybody's invited, man. Just come in and talk crap. Talk about my nose. Talk about something. The way I talk. Just pull up. Nice car. I would take that Corvette.
I think I would too, right? Like, even if it's not my primary car, I'd take this as my primary car. Why not?
Okay, that's not bad, actually.
How do we get this thing? Because Dan just said, all right, someone make this happen, and walked out.
That's got to be more than $3,000.
Well, it has 97,000 miles, and it is
matter.
32 years old.
The resale is surprisingly good on those cars.
I'll tell you what.
That's a steal. That's a steal.
The picture right now has a price hang on that says $6,995, so it looks like you get it $3,000 off.
Wow.
Yeah.
But how much does it cost to ship it here, though?
Well, I think that's part of the adventure, right? You just fly over there, you drive it back.
Okay.
Cross country.
Maybe a helicopter?
Probably not.
No.
Maybe.
Juju, for those of us who want to join you on the live stream but haven't been following much of the WNBA playoffs or these finals, what should we be looking for in this game tonight before we join you?
You should be looking for what you don't push somebody in the corner. You don't push what they say in the corner, a feral dog, whatever. Maybe so, baby, as well. Whatever you don't put in the corner, the Phoenix Mercury are that tonight.
You got the
reference. Phoenix Mercury.
Juju gets the reference. I know him pretty well. I think his favorite movie is Dirty Dancing.
Great segue, because I also wanted to guess you guys' favorite movies. Because I heard the segment and I was like, you know what? He looks like that. So I'm going to start from the top, because Greg gave us his first movie that he loves the most, The Wizard of Oz. But I'm willing to guarantee that his second favorite movie ever is The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I know it. I watched it. No, I do. That was the days of like Godzilla and King Kong and all those kind of things. The original, the black and whites. Damn right.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
We know Dan's favorite movie is Heat, so we don't even need points for that. Chris Cody, you look like an Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me guy.
Do I make you horny, baby? Who throws the shoe? I love that movie.
Nailed it. Billy Gill, my brother. This was kind of hard. I think you enjoy Me, Myself, and Irene the most.
Good flick.
I'll take it.
Good flick.
Yeah. That is my
second
favorite
place
movie.
Hey, Milky.
Second place was Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, but neither here nor there. Yeah. Mike, my brother, this was rough because you are a film buff, and I know how much Top Gun 2 changed the trajectory of Earth, but I'm thinking Con Air may have edged it out.
Con Air is a great flick. It's Fight Club.
Oh,
I'm one of those.
Tyler Durden. Damn it. And Jeremy, last but not least, come on, man. High School Musical,
Accurate as hell.
I was going to say The Notebook.
Oh, come on. High School Musical and 2 and 3. And let me just say, I got confirmation from Lucy herself. My guest of Almost Famous? Correct. Almost Famous and Shrek. Her two favorite movies.
You can't have two. Okay. If you got two, you got none.
Yep.
I said, what is your favorite movie and why did I think it's Almost Famous? And she said, it's Almost Famous and Shrek.
I feel like she was just being nice to you there. Yeah.
Also, the Senator Cory Booker definitely fucks on that ladder, right? Is that what you
made it seem like he fucks on the ladder. He definitely fucks on that ladder. Sure. I didn't have the guts to ask him, but I'm glad we said
it back here.
Yeah, he definitely fucked on that ladder. Yeah. Put it on the pole.
No.
Thanks, Juju.
Thank you, guys.